Human.
KFI, AM 640, more stimulating talk radio. Hello there. John Kobylt Show. We are on the air every day at this time from 3 to 6. And whatever you miss, you can listen to the audio podcast from at 6 o'clock, John Kobylt Show on demand. Live on YouTube, live on X, and a special treat today. We had an extra hour live stream video we did on YouTube and X. And that's already, it was done live. It's posted as a video. It's also a podcast hour, right? So bonus video, bonus audio. And a lot of it is on Gavin Newsom. And I know people really enjoy discussing the governor. So you listen to it, and I think you'll like it. All right, this is so crazy. As almost every day when I look at the news in the morning, I get up really early, like 5:30, 6 o'clock. And I start looking, and it's like, no, this can't be. I'm figuring maybe I'm still in a dream. Oh, by the way, I had a horrible dream last night.
What'd you dream?
Oof, I can't even talk about it.
Really? Was I in it? I better not have been.
Yeah, you were.
Oh,
in
no,
it.
don't. Did I die?
No, you didn't die, but we were in danger. So this is the story in the LA Times. James Rainey. Oh, actually, I looked up. I couldn't believe the story so much. I then read another version in the New York Post and another version, laist.com, which is public radio. Everybody's got the same story. The city of Los Angeles needs $2 billion from Donald Trump, from the federal government, to get 1,700 extra buses on the roads for the Olympic Games, and to create high-speed lanes on streets and freeways. Now, here we are, now less than 2 years to the start of the Olympic Games. And Los Angeles had promised everybody that even though it was going to be the financial backstop if the cost of the games went overboard, don't worry, we're not going to have to spend any extra money. Everything's under control. And all of a sudden, we need $2 billion from the Trump administration for 1,700 buses. Now, that sounds crazy, that much money just for buses. So I looked up previous Olympics here in America. How much did the federal government spend? In 1984, the last time it was in Los Angeles, the federal government spent $75 million, accounting for inflation, $145 million. That Olympics made a profit. They made money on that Olympics. But adjusting for inflation, the federal government threw in $145 million, most of it for security and staging assistance. Very little money was spent on capital projects. Now, so that's $145 million. This is $2 billion for 1,700 buses and some high-speed lanes. And what do you mean high-speed? I guess you can't build new lanes on the streets. So is that just for the paint to put special colors that it's high speed? I guess that's for the buses that they don't have. Isn't this amazing? We have high speed rail, but we don't have the rail and we don't have the trains. And now we have a high speed bus lane we're supposed to have for the Olympics, but we don't have the lane and we don't have the buses. Now, five Democratic members of Congress got together at a press conference in West Hollywood, led by the extremely irritating Laura Friedman from Glendale. And she said, we are certainly insisting that the federal government provide the resources that Los Angeles needs to make these games a success. We need $2 billion to give the seamless, wonderful experience everyone expects. Well, when Garcetti was selling this thing, he said that they weren't going to need any tax money. Don't worry, LA will handle it, or the Olympic Committee will handle it. Now all of a sudden, we're insisting. By the way, all these people are hardcore, obnoxious Trump haters. put aside what you think of Trump. If you need billions of dollars from somebody, are you going to spend years insulting him? And then you're going to be all indignant and outraged when he doesn't answer your call? What do you think he's going to do? I mean, I'm sure he doesn't want the United States embarrassed. Or maybe he's just going to let California and Los Angeles hung out to dry and say, hey, they wanted the Olympics. They promised they wouldn't need any outside money. And I'm looking at the 1996 Atlanta Olympics. That federal funding was $605 million, which translates to $1.2 billion in today's money. But a lot of that money was for projects that would likely have been built anyway and received federal funds anyway. They were real infrastructure projects. We are just renting buses for 2 weeks. And we're painting lanes. But on top of this, the communist LA City Controller, Kenneth Mejia, said that LA 28, and that is the private nonprofit that's overseeing the games, he wants more detailed reports on its finances because they have complied fully with only 2 of the 9 requirements of the contract. Something called the Games Agreement. Now, the communist is calling out the LA Olympic Committee here for sharing very little financial information. Meantime, the Congress people are demanding that Trump cough up $2 billion for buses. I'd like to see the breakout on that. 1,700 buses for $2 billion for 2 weeks. And it seems like this all should have been worked out, I don't know, 10 years ago when they were bidding on this. Am I crazy? I'm not an Olympics financing expert, but really now you suddenly realize you're $2 billion short? They're apparently trying to get support from Trump and the Republicans. Last year, there was legislation approved in Congress promising $1 billion in funding for security, but none of that money has shown up yet. And Laura Friedman is saying without the money, then the games aren't going to be the big showcase event for Los Angeles and California that people are expecting. Well, maybe Los Angeles and California should have come up with the money. I mean, California is spending $13 billion on illegal alien health care. Maybe you shouldn't have done that. You wasted $17 billion on high-speed rail, and that's flushed down the toilet. You you allowed like $35 billion to get stolen for the unemployment fraud that went on during COVID. How about the $24 billion that Newsom blew on homeless spending, and he can't account for it? And now you're banging on Trump's door? That's really outrageous. This is why you can't give a big project like putting on the Worldwide Olympics to a bunch of clowns. This is $2 billion for 1,700 buses. Just doesn't sound right. More coming up. Debra Mark, live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Here's the latest. LA City Council member Nithya Raman responds to residents in Studio City frustrated about an abandoned property that has homeless people and lots of trash. 2 tropical storms have formed in the Pacific, and the National Hurricane Center says both are expected to become hurricanes in the next few days. We will have more at the bottom of the hour. We're going to go to the 405 next.
Infinity Bank. When it comes to banking, are all of your eggs in one basket? What happens when your card doesn't work? You have to look at the back of the card to find the 800 number. What happens if your wallet is stolen? Who's going to be that reliable source when you need money or new cards or assurance that your money is safe? You won't have to worry about that with Infinity Bank. You call Victor Guerrero. I just saw him today. The president. And set up a new account with him. He did one for me. Call 657-223-1000. 657-223-1000. For a limited time, take advantage of one of the best rates in the U.S. with their money market savings account. Infinity Bank.
From the Odoo.com Weather Center, Odoo, the only business software you need. Hot again tomorrow, highs 80s to the triple digits. This report brought to you by Staples. From your Toyota dealer's traffic center, we make it easy. Crash on the 405 in Culver City.
It's northbound right before Jefferson. Crash is in the carpool lane. Traffic is stop and go from the 105. In Baldwin Park on the 10 freeway, westbound at Francisquito. I got a wreck in the left lane. Traffic is slow from Pacific Avenue. And if you head down south on the 5 southbound past the Aliso Creek Rest area, in the San Diego area, Camp Pendleton area. You got a big rig fire. They're cleaning up after it, but it has had traffic just jammed from San Onofre. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Randy Fuller.
Have you been avoiding shorts or swimsuits because of painful varicose or embarrassing spider veins? Is that how you want to live? West Medical can help. Treatments may be covered by most PPO insurance plans, including Anthem Blue Cross, Aetna, Cigna, United Healthcare, and more. Don't ignore leg pain, swelling, or bulging veins. Call 1-800-WEST-MEDICAL for your free consultation or visit westmedical.com today. Isn't it time to feel incredible?
Feel incredible. 1-800-WEST-MEDICAL. Just call Sweet James at 1-800-9-million. Just call Sweet James, your accident attorney.
Sweet James Accident Attorneys. Office in Los Angeles, California, and sweetjames.com.
All right, it's officially the most wonderful time of the year at Staples. They've got back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech, 20% off for teachers, and more. Check out all the deals at staples.com/back-to-school. Staples, that was easy.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Still sleeping on that old bed? Mattress Firm's sleep experts can help you choose the perfect upgrade. They'll guide you every step, answering your questions. Shop today and save big during the best sale of the year. They make sleep easy.
Looking for a gift that'll melt their heart? Head to smiletunes.com and create a custom song made just for your special someone. Every lyric tells your story. Every note comes from the heart. Visit smiletunes.com and start your song today.
Chris Merrill here. What if you could replace your entire home's incoming water pipe system in just one day and save thousands? At Creative Repipe, that is exactly what they do. They're not your typical plumber. They're a specialty company. Repiping is all they do every day, built for volume. They send large professional crews. So your repipe gets done fast and correctly. Most homes are done in just one day. And here's what homeowners love. Because they repipe at scale, their pricing is far lower than the typical $25,000 plumber bid. Creative Repipe's full home incoming water repipe costs only $6,000 to $14,000. That's thousands saved. No more low pressure, leaks, or patchwork repairs. And right now, KFI listeners get 20% off plus great financing. And every repipe comes with a lifetime warranty. If it ever leaks again, they fix it for free for life. KFI listeners get 20% off. Call for your free estimate at 888-373-0046. 888-373-0046 or visit creativerepipe.com.
The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Every day, Californians work hard to build a better future. They deserve leaders who work just as hard for them, not for special interests. In the Assembly, Juan Carrillo is delivering solutions for the high desert, building more affordable housing, investing in good-paying jobs, and lowering costs for hardworking families. Because California deserves problem solvers who deliver real solutions on the issues that matter most. Paid for by Grow California.
Hey, it's Conway here for Cars for Kids. We've donated 2 vehicles to Cars for Kids, and man, was it easy. Cars for Kids has been around for 30 years, and they know what they're doing. I recently saw firsthand one of their summer programs going on right now where they have over 1,400 kids. I saw hundreds of kids in the camp, and they couldn't thank Cars for Kids enough for making this incredible opportunity possible. So when you donate a car, you're helping real kids thrive this summer. CarsForKids.org. 1-877 for Kids, KARS Cars for Kids. That's Cars with a K.
Tim Conway Jr.
The iconic Langer's Deli got a heartwarming surprise from a very grateful customer.
Tonight, 6 to 10 on KFI AM 640.
He sent one, $50.
Oh, my God. Why is this a story? This is just like an exchange between two people. Why is this on the news?
This is KFI. More stimulating talk.
Everyone wants answers. I'm just really confused about what happened that day.
A new podcast series, Fault Line Haditha, tells the story of a shocking crime and a cover-up at the highest levels of the United States Marine Corps.
If you've got 5 players and you offer immunity to 4, you better be right about the 5th. Because if you're not, then you've just given immunity to your killer.
Listen to Fault Line Haditha on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Follow Fault Line Haditha and start listening on the free iHeart Radio app today.
KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
KFI AM 640, live everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. John Kobylt Show. And we're on from 3 to 6. YouTube, X. We have a live video running right now. And this morning we did a live stream, and you can access that on either YouTube or X as well. I mentioned this on the live stream, and if you have just a few dollars, you should subscribe to Spencer Pratt's Substack, because he's actually a great writer. And he said the other day, he goes, people think I don't write this. They think it's AI. He goes, no, I write it. And he writes it. It's really good stuff. And I don't want to give away what's in it. But he talked about what a disaster Gavin Newsom will be as a candidate running for president. And you should read it. He also made several cocaine jokes in the story. And then Dr. Houman Hamadi, who we've had on the show, and he's a man of many talents. And he posted something today making a crack about Newsom's cocaine. And I just kind of found it weird that there are 4 cocaine references this morning in the stuff I was reading. Because people think of him as maybe having tequila and wine issues. Because remember, after the Palisades fire, his friend apparently told a reporter that, or told friends, and it got leaked out that Newsom knocked back a whole bottle of tequila by the end of that day. And he's in the news for wine again. He's on a press conference he had for something else. He and Grifter Gavin and Grifter Jennifer are selling their home in the Sacramento area for $7.5 million. Now, in the real estate description of the home, it says a 5,000 bottle wine cellar. And that is a lot of wine. And he has a company that runs the wineries, vineyards, restaurants. He's claiming he didn't know there was a 5,000 bottle wine cellar. Listen to this clip.
Governor Breach that you're selling in Sacramento. You filled the 5,000.
Are you serious? Really?
Did you fill the wine?
No, I never filled it. I didn't even know it had that much till I read that in your newspaper. I literally didn't even know that. Seriously. By the way, I put books in there. I don't know if you saw the photos. There's no wine there. It's books. Yeah, trust me, it's my only inheritance from my father.
Well, I think that's a triple lie there. He managed to cram 3 lies in 8 seconds. First of all, there is a photo with wine bottles in all the cubby holes. I'm looking at it right now. And there is also the next shelf over are books. But he announced on stage some months back that he can't read People who can't read don't have book collections. Oh, but he said, well, that's the only inheritance he got from his dad, huh? His dad was the fixer. He was an attorney and a judge and was the fixer for the Getty family. And in fact, he negotiated that famous incident where one of the Getty kids back in the 70s was kidnapped and the kidnapper sliced off an ear. Yeah, if Newsom's dad, I guess he wasn't much of a negotiator. I mean, when you end up losing your kid's ear, he's about as good of a negotiator as Newsom is governor. It's like the Dud Garcettis, Gil and Eric. You got the Dud Newsoms, William and Gavin. But in any event, he claims there's the only inheritance. The inheritance, I doubt that if William Newsom is getting paid by the Gettys. And the Gettys gave Gavin the money to start up 10 out of his 11 businesses. Most of them related to, if not all of them, related to wine and restaurants, wine and food. So what is this? That was his only dad's inheritance if your dad's Getty connections got you the money to start 10 businesses. And you do have bottles of wine. And look, if I had a house with 5,000 bottles of wine, I would know it holds 5,000 bottles of wine because if you look at the photo of the wine cellar, it can't be anything else. It's meant to be cold. It's got a brick ceiling, brick walls, tile floors. I'm sure it's refrigerated. Oh, I didn't know. Oh, wow, really? Oh, I didn't know that till I read your story. Really, all I have is books there. And I'm looking at the photos. Like, yeah, there's books on one aisle, but there's wine bottles at the other aisle. How does he do that? And he does it, and he doesn't even hesitate. Sometimes when people, try to lie, they get a catch in their speech, in the flow of their speech. They can't really go through with it. That's and the home also has a personal wellness oasis, a resort-style pool, full-size tennis court, and the private casita, which I was told is a guest house. Yeah, much of Newsom's income is from a wine and hospitality business that he got from the Getty oil family. Didn't get an inheritance from his dad. No, he just got lifelong connections to one of the wealthiest families in American history, which he used to produce. He actually makes wine. Plump Jack. Ever tell you my wife was putting together a gift basket?
No.
And she's calling a local place. And it was on speakerphone, so I heard the woman say, okay, is there any particular wine you want in the gift basket? And my wife said, no. And what do you have? Oh, we could put this Plump Jack. And I just yelled from across the room, no, Plump Jack, no. Enough of our money's going to Newsom. We're not buying a bottle of his wine, too.
Ouch! Hey, John, you just missed something. I think I told you that Mayor Bass was live on KTLA.
Yeah.
There's an abandoned building in Studio City, and so the residents are fed up because homeless people are there. There's lots of trash. It's a nightmare. So I was looking at Mayor Bass, and she looked very different to me. And then Ray came in and said, what the heck with her face? You need to tell John. So she did there's a change. And you missed it because she's not on, but I'm sure Ray will find a picture or something.
Okay.
But there's something, unless she's aging because of the stress of the campaign. I don't know.
This was a good change or a bad change?
Bad
change.
I'm taking the fifth.
It was bad.
Really? Maybe surgery gone awry?
At first, I thought she kind of looked older, but right? So Erica's saying yes, but there's something different, and I don't know what it is, so I'm not going to say.
All right, well,
but I can't understand that. Stress. She's probably under a lot of stress these days.
Hey, it's not easy destroying a major city. That she's up probably 18, 20 hours a day ruining this place. All right, I'll go look for it while you do the news.
Okay, and this was Ray's This Ray wanted me to tell you, so don't blame me, anybody, about.
We got a lot of Karen Bass fans in the audience who are insulted. Yeah, sure, there'll be picket lines here soon.
LA City Council member Nithya Raman has responded to residents in Studio City frustrated about what I was just telling you about this abandoned property and any blame from her opponent in the mayor's race, which of course is Mayor Bass.
It is absolutely inexcusable that residents on Babcock Avenue have been living next to this abandoned, unsecured property for as long as they have.
Raman says her office has begged for the site to be cleaned up for years.
For the mayor to now suggest that this is simply a matter of the council office calling the departments ignores the reality. We have called, we have emailed, we have escalated, and we brought this directly to her office months ago.
Filled with homeless squatters and trash, the property had a fire Wednesday.
This property should have been secured and abated long before a fire made the danger impossible to ignore.
Mark Ronner, KFI News.
2 tropical storms have formed in the Pacific, and the National Hurricane Center says both are expected to become hurricanes in the next few days. Tropical Storm Karina is about 825 miles south of the southern tip of Baja California, while Tropical Storm Lowell is about 1,765 miles west-southwest of the tip of Baja California. There are no coastal watches or warnings in effect for either storm. A bill to end child marriage in California has been sent to Governor Newsom.
If Newsom signs the bill, it would make it illegal to issue a marriage license to anyone under the age of 18 in California. Right now, California is only one of 3 other states without a minimum marriage age. Between 2019 and 2025, 88 marriage certificates were issued in California, in which one of the people getting hitched was a minor. Jason Campidonia, KFI News.
The Trump administration is blaming Canada for the new trade war between the two countries. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick says President Trump announced a 50% tariff on $20 billion worth of Canadian goods, and Canada responded by imposing retaliatory tariffs. He says Canada is to blame for talks breaking down.
We negotiated, and Canada was going to have the best trade deal in the world. And what happened was Canada made the decision for political purposes. They wanted to walk away.
Trump's also threatening to double tariffs on Canada-made cars and auto parts in January. And Dolly Parton's old home in California is for sale.
Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living.
Parton owned a modest home in the town of Solvang from 2004 to 2014, and it's now Dolly with her signature butterfly.
And next.
Let me tell you about the big trip we're going on to Italy and Greece and places in between. It's a cruise. It's a beautiful cruise. And it's going to be October 2027, October 6th through the 15th. And I am taking a whole lot of KFI listeners with me on the brand new Allura. It's a gorgeous ship. Oceana is the name of the cruise line. And this is high-end stuff. This is good. And we are going to visit some of the most beautiful, fascinating destinations in the Mediterranean. Ports in Italy, Greek islands, Tunisia, Malta. Travel Store is putting this together. Now, Oceana, this is not one of these flying amusement parks, or I should say floating amusement parks with water slides and gimmicks. It's an adult-focused cruise. It's a beautiful experience, and it's designed around the destinations, the culture, the relaxation. Oceana is famous for what they call the finest cuisine at sea. So if you love great food, you're going to love this ship. The new Allura, just a year old, carries 1,200 guests, features beautiful accommodations, and every stateroom comes with a private balcony, private veranda. Limited number of travelers will also have the opportunity to join me for an exclusive VIP experience, special dinners during the voyage. Space is limited, and you've already talked with Travel Store. Put the deposit down so you can get the onboard ship credit, but you got to do that soon. Do it right now. Call them at 800-777-6540. 800-777-6540. or go to johnkobeltcruise.com.
Southland weather from KFI, partly cloudy tomorrow. Highs 90 to the triple digits, Metro LA in the high desert, windy in the high desert, 102 to 113 in the valleys. Low to upper 80s at the beaches, low to upper 90s inland OC, 101 to 107 and windy in the IE. Right now, 94 in Laguna Woods and 92 in Rancho Santa Margarita. Crash on the 10 in Baldwin Park.
Westbound at Francisquito, blocking the left lane. Traffic is stop and go behind it from around Vincent Avenue, Glendora Avenue. In Norwalk, now the 5 freeway northbound at Florence. There's a crash on the right shoulder. It's got you stopped from Alondra Boulevard. La Crescenta had trouble on the 210 freeway, westbound at Pennsylvania Avenue. Big rig fire from earlier. The 2 right lanes, though, are still blocked. Traffic is stopped from Gold Avenue. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Randy Fuller.
When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. They get a handshake, you get a handshake, they get a commission, and you're done. And you may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. But your business runs all year, and so do the gaps and the risk. I'm telling you about SuperSure. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, the CFO, or the HR manager, the whole thing can be too complicated just to buy a policy online. SuperSure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits with year-round support for you and your team. SuperSure.com. You can access tools like Fine Print Facts, which translates your current policy into plain English, so you see what's covered and what's not. And a business value calculator, so you can estimate what your business is worth and you know exactly what needs protecting. SuperSure.com is one super agency, one powerful platform, and all your policies in one place. SuperSure.com, SuperSure.com.
Paid for by SuperSure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
For Bud, the harmonica is a family affair. Now Bud's living with prostate cancer. He still knows how to groove, and he also knows once daily Xtandi. Xtandi treats metastatic prostate cancer that responds to a medical or surgical treatment to lower testosterone. Xtandi is proven to help these men live longer. Xtandi may cause serious side effects: seizure, a brain condition called PRES, allergic reactions, heart disease that can lead to death, falls and bone fractures, swallowing problems, or choking that can lead to death. Stop Xtandi and get medical help at once if your face, tongue, lip, or throat start swelling. Tell your doctor at once if you faint, have a seizure, quickly worsening headache, decreased alertness, confusion, vision problems, chest pain or discomfort, or shortness of breath. Xtandi can cause harm to an unborn baby or miscarriage. Use birth control during and 3 months after Xtandi. Common side effects include muscle and joint pain, feeling unusually tired, hot flashes, constipation, less appetite, diarrhea, high blood pressure, bleeding, falls, fractures, and headache. What a riff, Bud. Ask your doctor about Xtandi.
Seen signs of termite activity? Call today for a free termite inspection. Pacific Coast Termite proudly serves homeowners and businesses from San Diego to Santa Barbara. Call 800-PACIFIC. That's 800-PACIFIC. Or visit PacificCoastTermite.com. Some restrictions apply.
Want up to $25,000 in free silver? When you make a qualifying purchase through Golden Crest Metals, you can receive up to $25,000 in real silver added to your account. Call 888-447-7857 now for your free information kit. That's 888-447-7857. Again, call 888-447-7857. Not a financial advisor. Precious metals involve risk. Free silver offer is a 10% bonus in silver on qualifying purchases of premium mintage coins. $10,000 minimum purchase required. Bonus silver capped at $25,000 and credited to customer account. See goldencrestmetals.com for full terms.
Want more than just awareness for your business? An iHeartRadio Music Festival partnership can help your business drive action with sweepstakes, ticket giveaways, and more. Make your business part of the iHeartRadio Music Festival. Call 844-844-iHeart.
Visit LearCapital.com for your free gold investment kit. That's LearCapital.com.
Win Freddie Freeman's autographed jersey. Take the survey at cleanla.com.
This August, choose any 2 offers from American Vision Windows. Give them a call or visit the website today.
KFI is in your ear and on your screen. Follow us now at KFI AM 640.
KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio. John Kobylt Show. And we're on from 3 to 6. And you can follow us at John Kobylt Radio. So I'm looking to find some video of Karen Bass's public appearance today, which has so far it's unanimous that she's not looking too good. But I can't find that exact video. But I didn't know about the story until now. there was a fire in Studio City at this abandoned property. It was a house, and it had enormous amounts of garbage in the backyard. And an empty swimming pool filled to the top with all kinds of trash. And everybody's now screaming at Bass because the people in the neighborhood have called Bass, and they've called Nithya Raman. It's her district, of course. They have records going back to 2021. They've been calling about this property. Finally, it goes on fire. And Bass and Raman are now blaming each other. The reason that this story finally went public is the neighbors finally called the media, which I think should be the first thing you do when you have one of these places, not the last thing. Problems go back to 2021. And Bass is saying Raman should have contacted her directly. You're not aware? You're not, I got the hiccups back.
Boo!
So it's been five years.
Okay, you know what?
Now what am I going to do?
Go get some sugar and put it on your tongue.
Sugar on my tongue?
Yeah.
Well, I don't have any sugar here.
Okay, well, somebody...
Let me tell you, you're doing a live radio show. The last thing you want is a case of the hiccups.
I know.
You were worried about catching colds and coughing
I know,
while you're reading the news? Hiccups aren't much better.
Hold your breath for 5 seconds.
For 5 seconds?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's see if that helped.
Okay.
Well, you did 6, but it's okay.
That's all right. I hiccuped once, so now it came back. Oh, it's going to be a great afternoon. This is just great. Well, you people just have to put up with the hiccups. I don't know what to tell you. In any event, Bass is saying that Raman's had her cell phone number for years. Why didn't she call? The neighbors are saying, well, we've called Raman for years and she never did anything. They're saying they called City Hall for years and you never did anything. Is it dawning on people that these two, Bass and Raman, don't care at all? They have a good life. They're making a lot of money. And they don't sit around waiting for your phone calls. They don't read memos from the staff who've put together the day's complaints. Whatever you're calling in, whoever you're talking to, the news doesn't reach Bass or Raman. And they're not asking for the news. They're not demanding that their employees tell them what's going on. So you might as well be shouting down, just lift up a manhole and shout down into the sewers. Go talk to the wall, as my mother used to say. I feel like I'm talking to the wall. You are talking to the wall. Now, I was just watching a clip from Channel 5 where she went on the morning show, and she goes, I always watch your show. She tries to disarm. I noticed this in interviews. She tries to disarm the interviewer. Well, as you know, we've talked about this, trying to establish a personal relationship. So she tells the KTLA anchors, I watch you every morning. And I guess she saw this story and realized she's got to do something because the video of the fire is pretty spectacular. And the old video they had of all the rotting garbage is pretty spectacular. And this is on Babcock Avenue. There was so much debris and overgrown vegetation. I don't know, maybe it was spontaneous combustion. Boy, so what do you do when you have the two people running and they're not only really bad at their jobs, but one of the reasons they're really bad is they don't care. And they'll never admit they don't care. And no one's going to force them to admit they don't care. So what do? And a big percentage of the votes are union votes. And the union people don't care just as long as they get their big, fat union raise. Talk more. Debra Mark live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Here's the latest. LA Mayor Bass says the city is taking action to clean up an abandoned property full of trash and used by homeless people. You just heard John talking about it. Rob Reiner's son, Jake, is speaking out for the first time since his parents were murdered. We'll have more at the top of the hour. From your Toyota dealer's traffic center, we make it easy. Crash on the 5 in Norwalk.
It's northbound at Florence Avenue, right shoulder is where the wreckage is now. The traffic is stopped from Alondra Boulevard. La Crescenta, big rig fire from earlier, they're still working on cleaning that up, I guess. The right two lanes are still blocked on the 210 westbound to Pennsylvania. And it's got traffic stopped. It's adding about 20 minutes to your drive, it looks like. In Culver City on the 405 southbound at Braddock Drive, there's a crash on the right shoulder. You're stopped from Wilshire, car versus pickup, and that's about a 20-minute delay as well. Southern California's most accurate traffic reports. I'm Randy Fuller.
If you've been hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, the system is rigged against you, and Sweet James is here to fix it. Don't take on the legal system alone. Sweet James has helped thousands of injured accident victims get back what their accident took from them. Call Sweet James Accident Attorneys for a free case review. You call 1-800-9-MILLION or go to sweetjames.com.
Just call Sweet James at 1-800-9-MILLION. Just call Sweet James, your accident attorneys.
Urgent message. Eaton Fire home contamination. If you live within 45 miles of the Eaton Fire in Altadena, your home may have been exposed to asbestos and other hazardous fibers. Homeowners may qualify for compensation for fire-related contamination and property damage, potentially more than $100,000. There's no upfront cost for a free home testing consultation. Don't wait. Call 855-LA-FIRE-0 today to find out if you qualify. You can't always see contamination, but it could be there. 855-LA-FIRE-0. Call now.
This is Doug Gottlieb. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by iHeartAdvertising.com.
Packers running back Josh Jacobs charged with 2 misdemeanors today stemming from a May incident. Neither of the charges is related to domestic violence. No felony charges filed. No discipline yet from the NFL. The Seahawks and Leonard Williams agreeing on a 3-year, $90 million contract extension with $56 million guaranteed to the defensive tackle, according to ESPN. And Kyle Lowry joining Vince Carter as the only Raptors to have their numbers retired. I'm Bill Horrendous.
Run a business and not thinking about radio? Think again, because people are listening to radio more today than they did 20 years ago. And only iHeartRadio connects with more Americans than TV, digital, even social. Learn how radio can help your business. Call 844-844-iHeart.
This report is sponsored by Whole Foods Market. Enjoy fresh fruit for less at Whole Foods Market. Get organic black, red, or green seedless grapes for $2.99 per pound with Prime through September 1st. Perfect for snacking, salads, or cheese boards. While supplies last, shop in-store or online. Terms apply.
Help your kid excel in math and love it at Brilliant.org.
Silver is no longer just a commodity, it's a strategic resource. Global demand is hitting record highs while supply remains tight. Visit LearCapital.com for your free silver report. That's LearCapital.com. LearCapital.com.
You've heard Bill Handel and the entire morning crew talking about why they love and use Zellman's. And while you've been listening to Bill, we've sold more than 20 million capsules to people just like you. I'm Anthony, founder of Zellman's Minty Mouth. I love eating spicy and smelly foods and got tired of my wife complaining about my breath. That's why we created Zellman's, the breath mint for grown-ups, to target the smells from what you eat and drink that contribute to bad breath throughout the day. With Zellman's, you don't have to worry about what your mouth tastes like or how your breath smells after coffee, lunch, drinks, or a night out. It's not a gum, it's not a mint. It's the solution you didn't know you've been looking for. Now it's your turn to discover the Zellman's difference, backed by 100% love us or your money back guarantee. I've created a special offer for new customers. Go to Zellmans.com, ZELMINS.com, use code SAVE for 20% off your first order. ZELMINS.com, use code SAVE for 20% off your first order. Therapy Thursday with Ellen K is a new podcast. Confessions, impossible dilemmas, and advice that hits home. Catch every episode on the iHeartRadio app and wherever you get your podcasts.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hear that? That's Alka-Seltzer, the sound of fast heartburn relief. Because when heartburn hits, you want something that works fast. Quick, Alka-Seltzer. Alka-Seltzer effervescent tablets start neutralizing stomach acid in seconds. So nothing works faster for heartburn relief. Next time, when that burning feeling comes on strong, don't wait. Quick, Alka-Seltzer. Try Alka-Seltzer. Use as directed.
It's the Marketer's Report. In this edition, Monica Tam, head of brand media for DoorDash, talks about audio's connection to daily rituals.
Audio plays a really important role. It's actually an opportunity for DoorDash to be part of the consumer's day beginning to end. As an example, there's daily rituals that you do, commuting to and from home, dropping off kids, in between walking the dog, going to the gym, doing chores just at home, got a podcast or diving to your favorite music. In all of those moments, which are like usually a screen-free environment, you've got actually a very attentive consumer, and you have an opportunity to actually influence a decision that they might be doing in the next moment.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia connects marketers to all the audiences, live conversations, trusted influencers, and the insights and data you need to grow, and all guaranteed human. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartAdvertising.com.
Lou Penrose.
Darth Vader showed up at a city council meeting to oppose flock cameras.
Sundays at 4 on KFI AM 640.
This entire flock camera controversy, I honestly don't really get it. What's the problem? It's just license plate readers that help cops catch bad guys. Everybody's mad at flock. So I think the cameras are going to stay. But the Darth Vader guy was my favorite of all the complainers.
More stimulating talk.
The countdown to the NFL season is on, and Fox Sports Radio is where you join the conversation with the Dan Patrick Show.
You got some interesting scenarios here.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
You have to strike when the iron is hot in the NFL.
And more. Download the iHeartRadio app, search NFL, and listen now.
KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio, the John Kobylt Show. And the hiccups are gone.
Did you do what I told you to do?
No, but I want to get some. I didn't have any sugar on me.
Oh.
But
what'd you do?
They're gone, huh?
What did you do?
I just.
You ran out of here like a crazy person, so I guess you don't want to tell us.
It's a long explanation. Okay. I'll tell you later. Okay. Believe me, you don't want to hear it right now.
Okay. You're right. Never mind.
Do you remember? A few months back, happened in March, because I know you always get spooked by air crash stories.
Oh, please.
Yeah. Remember the fire truck that crashed into the plane on the tarmac at LaGuardia Airport in New York City? And it killed the pilot and the co-pilot of the plane. This fire truck was responding to a different incident and crossed... went right across the landing lanes, crashed into the nose of this Air Canada plane, and killed the pilot and the co-pilot. The reason for this is 2 air traffic controllers left work early, right before the collision. So the 2 controllers who were left had no backup and no assistance, and they needed it. Leaving early is called an early shove, according to traffic controllers. And these 2 characters took an early shove. It's long-standing practice in the industry. I guess when you're feeling tired and you want to go home.
I'm tired. Can I go home? I mean, my job is a lot less important than an air traffic controller.
And they killed 2 pilots. And there were 6 other people who got injured as well. Because the fire truck killed the 2 pilots because the air traffic controllers had gone home. Now they're going to fire those 2. An early shove? That's I never heard of this. Wouldn't you feel guilty leaving?
Yes, 100%.
I mean, haven't we all If we have responsible jobs, if we don't waste our days as social media influencers, right? But if we have responsible jobs and you leave early and that gives too much work to somebody else or some project doesn't get done, I don't know. I feel bad about that. I know you do.
I do.
Yeah. These people are landing planes.
One of the most important jobs.
Where people actually died. And it's like, I'm not into it anymore. Can I have an early shove?
I'm tired. I need a nap.
What the hell? What is with? I mean, the work ethic has just totally evaporated. It's just gone.
Ever since COVID.
Yeah, this would not have happened before COVID. There'd be plane crashes or collisions, but not because of an early shove. Although I don't know. They said that this has been going on for years. Well, it shouldn't have been going on for years. It shouldn't go for a day. Crazy. We got a special segment coming up right after 4:00, and I want to give you a preview here. I've looked at this film, and it's just terrific. It's premiering at the Man Chinese Theater today, and it's done by Michael Gier, and he's an award-winning filmmaker. It's entitled "The Heroism and Resiliency of 9/11: From Tragedy to Triumph." I watched this film, and it's about the people who were involved in the 9/11 crashes, what their lives are like 25 years later. Survivors, rescuers. It's really moving, and I was really mesmerized by this thing. I'm going to play you a trailer, and then we're going to do an interview right after that. This is Heroism and Resiliency of 9/11. Listen to this trailer.
September 11, 2001 was a day of unimaginable terror and unshakable courage. In the face of devastation, humanity's strength and resilience shined through. The Heroism and Resiliency of 9/11 features the inspiring true stories of courage, unity, and the perseverance that emerged from one of the darkest days in American history. Through the eyes of first responders, survivors, and ordinary citizens who became extraordinary heroes, this documentary honors the selflessness and bravery that defined a generation. Andy Card, Chief of Staff to President George W. Bush, was by the president's side, offering a first-hand account of leadership under pressure. At the Federal Reserve, Vice Chairman Roger Ferguson took swift action to stabilize the financial system, averting what could have been economic catastrophe. With Lower Manhattan cut off, over 500,000 people were evacuated by boat in the largest maritime rescue in history. At the Pentagon, Flight 77 struck the heart of U.S. defense. Amid the chaos, heroes emerged, rushing into danger to save others. Passengers aboard Flight 93 fought back against the terrorists and prevented the plane from reaching its target, saving countless lives on the ground. The film features these stories and more through real-life accounts, archival footage, and dramatized reenactments. The Heroism and Resiliency of 9/11 is not just a tribute to those we lost, but a celebration of the indomitable spirit that rose from the ashes, showcasing the resilience of those who rebuilt their lives and transformed grief into advocacy. It is a story of hope, proving that even in tragedy, inspiration can be found in the courage and compassion of everyday people.
And we're going to talk with the filmmaker Michael Gier right after Debra's news. It's already received 5 Best Documentary honors. It's the Heroism and Resiliency of 9/11, 25th anniversary, coming up in just a couple of weeks. And this is quite a striking documentary. And we'll talk about it coming up next segment. Debra Mark live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
KFI and KOST HD2, Los Angeles, Orange County. More stimulating talk.
Angry residents. I'm Debra Mark live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. LA Mayor Bass says the city is taking action to clean up an abandoned property full of trash and which has been used by homeless people. Neighbors say it's been a problem for more than 5 years, and Bass says it is citywide.
Where we have a lot of properties like this that have been abandoned, but it is unacceptable, and we need to expedite the process so that neighbors are not in danger.
Bass says all going well. The property will be cleaned up by tomorrow afternoon. Southern California continues to bake under a heat wave. It's even a little more humid now. Forecasters say increasing tropical moisture could add scattered showers or even a thunderstorm to the mix before significant relief from the heat arrives late in the weekend. Extreme heat warnings are in effect through 8 p.m. tomorrow across much of LA and Orange counties. A UCLA climate scientist says Southern California could be headed for a particularly wet winter as an unusually powerful El Nino builds in the Pacific. Daniel Swain says it'll increase the risk of flooding, damaging surf, and coastal erosion. He says ocean temperatures in the eastern tropical Pacific, which is a key driver of El Nino, are already the highest recorded for this time of year, and forecasts indicate that it could intensify beyond the strongest previously observed El Ninos. Jake Reiner is opening up about an unimaginable loss.
Every moment that I wake up, I'm reminded of my reality.
In his first sit-down interview since his parents, Rob Reiner and Michelle Reiner, were killed, Jake Reiner tells ABC7's Mark Cota-Robles that the past 8 months have been a living nightmare.
It's been 8 months. It feels like 8 years at the same time, and it also feels like 8 minutes.
His younger brother, Nick Reiner, is charged with their murders.
It's like I physically lost my parents, and then Nick was arrested, and it's like now it's just me and Romy.
Jake says he's now focused on preserving his parents' legacy. Heather Brooker, KFI News.
A man who was pulled unconscious from the ocean at Laguna Beach has died.
Laguna Beach Marine Safety personnel say lifeguards pulled the unidentified 41-year-old man from the surf at South Crescent Bay Beach. He was in cardiac arrest and received CPR before he was taken to Mission Hospital, Laguna Beach, where he died. It's at least the third fatal water-related incident in Laguna Beach this summer. Shelby Cleama at Dive and Surf in Redondo Beach advises people going surfing.
Watch out for the flags and what the lifeguards are saying. Check the currents, and probably always dive and surf with somebody else, like a buddy.
She says the death is tragic, but
it's the ocean at the end of the day. It's the same as when you go camping or when you go hiking. You can't really control nature.
Mark Rohner, KFI News.
An American Airlines plane has blown some tires at O'Hare International Airport in Chicago. ABC's Morgan Norwood says passengers were taken off the plane on the taxiway yesterday and bused to the terminal.
It comes just 2 days after 2 different planes landing just hours apart suffered blown tires while landing at O'Hare.
One was an American Airlines flight arriving from New York. The other was a United plane out of Nebraska. No injuries were reported. And a U.S. defense official in Europe and a NATO official say the U.S. military is experiencing a beyond critical shortage of advanced missile interceptors in Europe, largely driven by the war in Iran. The defense official said there are concerns about vulnerabilities in NATO countries to a potential Russian attack. The Wall Street Journal says CIA Director Ratcliffe went to Moscow this week to warn Russia not to attack. Southland weather from KFI, partly cloudy tomorrow, high 90 to the triple digits, metro LA and the high desert. Windy for the high desert, 102 to 113 in the valleys. Low to upper 80s at the beaches, low to upper 90s inland OC, 101 to 107 and windy in the IE. Right now, 98 in Tustin. It is 86 in Chatsworth, and it's 98 in Van Nuys. The KFI Financial Update brought to you by Supersure, supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform. All your business insurance in one place. Actually, it's 86 in Laguna Beach. The Dow closed up 105, S&P 500 up 55, and NASDAQ up 411. Stall on the 10 in Alhambra.
It's eastbound at Atlantic Boulevard, and we understand it's just been cleared out of the way. It did set up a tough drive for you, though, from City Terrace. In La Crescenta on the 210 westbound at Pennsylvania. That earlier big rig fire. Now, they still have the 2 right lanes blocked, and it's probably costing you about 20 minutes of extra driving. In Norwalk on the 5 northbound at Florence Avenue, cleared that crash. Still kind of a heavy drive from Alondra Boulevard, though. Culver City, the 405 southbound at Braddock Drive. It's a wreck on the right shoulder that has you stopped from Wilshire Boulevard. Irvine, a solo crash on the 5 freeway, the off-ramp to Culver Drive. The off-ramp has now been reopened. That crash cleared up. And if you're headed south on the 5, southbound 5 past Aliso Creek Rest area in the San Diego area, Camp Pendleton area, cleaning up after an earlier big rig, much earlier today. It's jammed up traffic from San Onofre on the southbound 5. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Randy Fuller.
I'm going to Morongo for my fantasy football draft party. My first pick, cheerleaders. And now, the top 5 reasons to visit Morongo. Number 5.
Football's back, and we're giving every league commissioner just what they need. A draft party. Choose the party that's right for you at MorongoCasinoResort.com.
Number 4.
Self-care giveaway. A facial steamer is yours when you earn 500 points on your rewards card, September 1st.
3.
The music of Rihanna, performed live by tribute band Rihanna Replay, September 3rd. Poolside playback next Thursday.
And the number 2.
Make Labor Day weekend a Morongo weekend. Book a suite or private casita.
And the number 1 reason.
We're giving away a 2026 Mustang GT Fastback. Earn entries now, and you could drive off a winner the 31st.
Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times.
After a major accident, one question comes to mind. What happens next? That's where Wilshire Law Firm comes in. With over 100 attorneys, we've helped recover more than $3 billion for our clients. Let the firm that's been recognized as #1 in personal injury settlements fight for the compensation you deserve. That's what happens next. For a free consultation 24/7, call Wilshire Law Firm, 1-800-ABCDEFG. Wilshire Law Firm won more top 100 personal injury settlements in 2024 than any other law firm in California, as reported by TopVerdict.com. Wilshire Law Firm is in LA.
Looking for a better way to grow your local business? Meet SearchLocal.com, the all-in-one community hub built for business owners, customers, and local residents. Claim your business, promote coupons, post jobs, showcase services, connect with customers, and stand out in your community, all for less than $3 a day. Free popular platform for locals and influencer accounts too. Your business has probably already been listed. Use promo word LOCAL for 1 month free and a 50% discount. That's searchlocal.com.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival,
presented by Capital One,
is coming back to Las Vegas.
September 18th and 19th at T-Mobile Arena.
Stream it live on Disney Plus and Hulu. And keep listening for the next chance to win your way to be there.
Some apps say they're free, then come the fees. Not the iHeart app. It's 100% free. No required subscriptions to access the best live radio stations, free playlists, podcasts, and more. Download the free iHeart app today.
iHeartRadio. KFI AM 640.
An iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human.
KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio. The John Kobylt Show. And we're on from 3 to 6. Podcast after 6 o'clock. It's the same as the radio show for whatever you missed. And we're live on YouTube. We're live on X. You can go to youtube.com/@JohnKobyltShow and subscribe and become a member. And we just played at the end of last hour a little teaser clip from this documentary that's debuting today, The Heroism and Resiliency of 9/11, From Tragedy to Triumph. It's the 25th anniversary, as you may know. And this movie is premiering at the TCL Chinese 6 theaters today in LA, and also premiering in New York. And by August, it'll be on all the major streaming sites. And it's narrated by Gary Sinise, and the filmmaker is Michael Gier. And it's interviews and old footage, interviews with the survivors, family members of those who died, first responders. I mean, some really dramatic stories, and tells you where all these people are now and how 9/11 has impacted them since. Several clips of Andrew Card, who was George Bush's chief of staff, and he was the one who broke the news to Bush when Bush was reading storybooks to a class in Sarasota. Let's get Michael Gier on. Michael, how are you?
I am great. Thank you for having me, John.
A terrific movie. Wow.
Yeah, thank you. You know, it was a long project. I started that in 2022, believe it or not.
Well, you know, after 25 years, I think we've all seen plenty of documentaries and remembrances and looks back. But this was something really moving and touching, and I was unexpectedly moved by these stories. Why don't you talk about the general tone of the film and what people are going to see when they watch?
Absolutely. So Chris Meek approached me. He had seen some of my other documentaries, and he knew he wanted to do something for the 25th commemoration, but he didn't know what. And so he talked to me about producing the film for him. And, I told him, we don't want to produce something about 9/11 that's like all of the other 9/11 movies. The story's already been told. And so after thinking about it, I kind of went back to him and said, let's focus on the positive things that came from 9/11 despite the tragedy. Let's focus on the heroism, the resiliency. I really wanted to find stories that people hadn't heard before, and make it really an inspirational film, which is, interesting to say when there was so much tragedy, but there was so much inspiration that happened, not only on 9/11, but the days that followed, the weeks that followed. And those are all featured in the film. And so that's the direction we took, and audiences have been very inspired.
Yeah, because it's not easy to do a film on something that's relatively recent history and virtually everybody knows. So many people lived through it. And like I said, there were so many retrospectives. And you managed to find, that you managed to thread the needle there and come up with a concept. And I think it's because there was so much human storytelling. It was people talking about their experience and how harrowing the experience was for them.
Absolutely. And, and just the stories like you saw it. There's probably stories you hadn't seen before, correct?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. That's the thing. There wasn't one moment where I thought, all right, I knew this. No, it was like, oh, wow. Because it was, individuals who had to live through it. And some of the stories, like that, the guy who was trapped in the building for hours and hours and hours with all this heavy.
Will Jimeno.
Yes.
Buried alive, 30 feet down below the towers. He and his sergeant were buried alive. Yeah, that was a powerful story.
Yeah, because, I don't know anybody that's happened to. If you ever wonder, what is it like to be 30 feet under? What was he under? Concrete? He had kind of heavy beams on him?
Yeah, he was trapped with a huge piece of concrete over him on his chest. And he was down there with his sergeant for over 10 hours before anybody even realized they were down there. And then once they realized they were down there, the rescuers that went down, there were 3. It was a tiny hole. They had to crawl down with all this hot steel, smoke everywhere. They could barely see. The heat was extreme, fires all around them. And, Scott Strauss, one of the rescuers, literally says on his way down, he stopped and he's just apologizing to his boys, thinking he's not going to make it out. I'm sorry. Take care of your mom, make me proud, in tears as he's crawling down to save this man. Thankfully, they all came back out alive. But, he was willing to risk his life just for this hope that he'd be able to save Will Jimeno and the sergeant. And, so the film is filled with stories of heroism and many stories that people haven't heard, like Wells Crowther. He's the man with the red bandana who rescued a lot of people. He didn't survive, but, he saved a lot of people in the process before the towers came down. Roger Ferguson, he ran the Federal Reserve. I wanted to put his story in because so many have not heard about this unsung hero.
No.
He literally saved the country from financial disaster.
Yes, I'd never heard of him either. And telling the story about what he did to make sure that the financial system kept moving. One of the most important things in that whole event was the work that he did. First I heard of him.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm surprised at how many people have never heard of the boat lift. I hadn't.
I hadn't either. We'll talk about that. Talk about that.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah. Over 500,000 people were trapped in the southern tip of Manhattan. Everything, of course, was collapsed going north. They couldn't go that direction. They were injured, some of them seriously. They were covered in that white dust and just needed off the island, but there was nowhere to go. There was all water around them. And so boats started showing up within the mariner community and started rescuing people. Then the Coast Guard got involved, and I interview, he's a rear admiral now, but back then he was Lieutenant Michael Day, who literally worked for the Coast Guard, but put out a call to all of the mariners, if you've got a boat, please show up to the southern tip of Manhattan. Boats came from every direction, large and small, and just took off over 500,000 people in around 9 hours and transported them over to New Jersey. What an amazing story that is.
I never heard that these random people showed up with their boats and transported 500,000 in 9 hours. Yeah. I actually had to back the movie up. I was watching on my iPod. It's like, no, that's not right. I had to play that again. It's like, did I mishear that?
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's really something else. Listen, you've done a great job here, Michael Gier. And the movie's called Heroism and Resiliency of 9/11 from Tragedy to Triumph. And it's going to be at the TCL Chinese 6 theaters. Is it running?
Actually, well, let me just say that the film is already out and it's on streaming platforms now.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Last night we had our screening at the TLC Chinese Theater, and that was just our Hollywood premiere. And it went great last night. We all had a wonderful time. Next September 8th, we're doing another screening in New York. And then we've got screenings at Harvard and University of Missouri. And we just had one at the Reagan Library, Presidential Library here in LA. So we've got screenings all over the country. But for the public, the general public, they can go on to Amazon Prime Video, Google TV, Apple TV, YouTube movies, and they can watch it now. They can watch it tonight.
Oh, you should.
And as you said, it's called the Heroism and Resiliency of 9/11, as you said.
Michael Gier, you should be very proud. Great work.
Thank you, and I am, and I appreciate you having me on just to let people know, because the film was produced to inspire people, and if they don't know about it, they're not going to watch it, and they're not going to be inspired. But everybody who has watched it has come back to me, even New Yorkers who expected to be depressed came back to me and said,
"Yeah,
oh, thank you. I cannot believe how inspirational this film was."
Yeah. You really walk away just shocked at what humans can do, what they are capable of, and yeah, that's something else. All right, Michael, thank you for coming on.
Hey, my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
All right. And we go to Debra Mark live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Here's the latest. A jury in Massachusetts will continue deliberations tomorrow in the trial of Lindsay Clancy, the woman accused of killing her 3 kids. And hundreds of people have died in Nepal and Tibet from major flooding and mudslides. We'll have more at the bottom of the hour, going to the 57 next.
Infinity Bank, when it comes to banking, are all your eggs in one basket? What happens when your card doesn't work and you have to look at the back of the card and find the 800 number? Or your wallet gets stolen. Who's going to be the reliable source when you need money or new cards or assurance that your money is safe? You don't have to worry about that with Infinity Bank. You call Victor Guerrero. He's the president. He was over here today. Set up a new account with him. He did that for me. Call 657-223-1000. 657-223-1000. For a limited time, here's one of the best rates in the U.S. with their money market savings account. Infinity Bank.
From your Toyota dealer's traffic center, we make it easy. Crash on the 57 in Diamond Bar.
It's northbound right before the 60 freeway. Crash on the right shoulder there. A couple of semis got together, so it's causing a stop-and-go ride from Pathfinder Road. In La Crescenta, speaking of big rigs on the 210 freeway westbound to Pennsylvania, that earlier big rig fire, they still have the 2 right lanes closed, and that's costing you now close to 25 minutes of delay. Culver City, the 405 southbound at Braddock, the wreck cleared away, still kind of heavy from Wilshire, though. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Randy Fuller.
This is Sarah Spain with the latest from iHeart Women's Sports. Presented by iHeartAdvertising.com. Olympic figure skating champ Alyssa Liu announced Tuesday she's taking the upcoming season off of competition. She's been booked and busy since winning gold in Italy earlier this year, and she said in an interview with NBC Sports she will plan to keep training during her break. The 21-year-old notably retired at age 16 after her Olympic debut, but came back from that break to win gold in Milan Cortina. For more women's sports stories, subscribe to Good Game with Sarah Spain on iHeart Podcasts.
Run a business and not thinking about radio? Think again, because people are listening to radio more today than they did 20 years ago. And only iHeartRadio connects with more Americans than TV, digital, even social. Learn how radio can help your business. Call 844-844-iHeart.
This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique. But you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
Visit LearCapital.com for your free gold investment kit. That's LearCapital.com.
What's the price of good health? If you've been putting off a weight loss procedure because you think it's too expensive, think again. If you are 50 pounds or more overweight, you are opening the door for a future of medical bills. But you know what is free? Consultation at West Medical. At West Medical, bariatric procedures may be covered by many PPO insurance plans. Stop waiting and start investing in your health today. Call 1-800-WEST-MEDICAL for your free, no-obligation consultation or visit westmedical.com.
I feel incredible 'cause I call 1-800-WEST-MEDICAL.
You don't pay for iHeartRadio. Our advertisers do. That's why it's always been and always will be 100% free. Radio, music, podcasts. Download the iHeartRadio app now.
My name is Amanda Klutz, and I'm a widow. You enter a different reality when you lose your husband, especially as a parent. Life insurance doesn't fix it, but it helps. With Ethos, you can get covered in minutes. No medical exams, up to $3 million in coverage, and it's all online.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. That's ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique. But you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
Just call Sweet James at 1-800-9-million. Just call Sweet James, your accident attorney.
Sweet James Accident Attorneys. Office in Los Angeles, California, and sweetjames.com.
Urgent message. Eaton Fire home contamination. If you live within 45 miles of the Eaton Fire in Altadena, your home may have been exposed to asbestos and other hazardous fibers. Homeowners may qualify for compensation for fire-related contamination and property damage, potentially more than $100,000. There's no upfront cost for a free home testing consultation. Don't wait. Call 855-LA-FIRE-0 today to find out if you qualify. You can't always see contamination, but it could be there. 855-LA-FIRE-0. Call now.
Join me, your buddy Conway, and Travel Store for a luxury Caribbean cruise in February of 2027 aboard Oceana Cruises. All you got to do is make a $200 deposit between now and August 31st. 800-777-6540, ConwayCruise.com.
I am looking at this dish that I'm going to taste right now. It's sexy as hell, for one. It screams rustic, delicious. Yeah. The minute you see it, you say, not only is that beautiful, but I want that in my pie hole right now.
The Fork Report with Neil Saavedra. Saturday afternoon at 2 on KFI. And on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app.
Touchdown!
The countdown to the new NFL season is on.
And now all 32 in-market local teams can be heard on the free iHeartRadio app.
He's in! That's a jet touchdown!
Just open the app and search your favorite team.
Plus, Fox Sports Radio breaks it all down
as we get closer to week 1.
It's crazy and it's fun.
Join the conversation and stay locked in. Live local games with you all season long.
Download the iHeartRadio app.
Search NFL and press play.
AM 640. More stimulating talk.
There is a massive transit overhaul officially locked in for the San Fernando Valley. More than $2 billion awarded to build the brand new Van Nuys Boulevard light rail. Will this major investment transform Valley commuting, or will it create a new traffic nightmare along the way? That's tomorrow, Monks and Merrill, starting at noon on KFI.
KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk radio. John Kobylt Show. We're on from 3 until 6. We're live on X, live on YouTube, so you can watch us. This is in the Wall Street Journal today. Boy, this was such a badly devised law, and the people who wrote it tried to hide behind the good intentions that they had. I hate that. Progressive politicians, when they screw up, or somebody else in their cult screws up, they try to weasel out of responsibility by saying, well, we had good intentions. So in 2019, California legislators suspended the statute of limitations for childhood sex abuse cases. And you know what happened? Massive numbers of people filed lawsuits. So many, there was no way to vet all the claims. And officials, like here in Los Angeles County, they had 11,000 of these cases. How are you going to figure this out? So they decided to settle it with everybody. True, not true. And now they got to pay $5 billion. You may have heard of this. Some of these claims go back decades. Now, you've heard Nathan Hochman. I believe he came on the show talking about this. He thinks up to 81% of the claims may be fraudulent. But if you go to court and you lose in front of a jury, the juries are so math illiterate and so crazy that it could be even more expensive than settling. So what do you do? Again, Hochman thinks most of the claims fraudulent. The county defense lawyers want to keep the settlement payments moving. They don't want to go to court. They don't trust jurors. This is where the system really is awful. You know, I've had it up to here with hearing politicians go, well, we had good intentions. I've also had it up to here with hearing from lawyers and judges, well, it's the best system we have. It's the best system in the world. Well, no, it's not. No, it's not when most public officials are afraid of juries that they're going to be so stupid and they're going to bankrupt the city or the county. So Wall Street Journal says LA County has become the epicenter of a fiscal quagmire for local governments. Because the statute of limitations was extended so victims could seek civil damages even if they were 40 years old. But now, public officials say between fraudsters and aggressive trial lawyers, local governments want to settle without fully vetting because California doesn't cap liabilities. Because the attorneys own the legislature and the attorneys get a huge percentage of the lawsuit. How nuts is that? A survey of 19 counties, about a third of the state, found that these counties face liabilities of $12.5 billion. The impact on public schools is approaching $4 billion because they hired so many pedophiles in the school system. LA County has already agreed to settlements that's going to cost $500 for each resident. Even if you're suspected of fraud, the county will pay you $50,000 to drop the claims. And Catherine Barger is saying, one of the supervisors, people don't realize this cost is passed on to all of us. It's going to erode services. Well, the law has to be repealed. There's no fix for this other than erasing the law, repealing it. You know who the author was? One of the all-time lunatics in the assembly, Lorena Gonzalez. She wrote the law. She's stupid as a box of rocks. And always with hysterical hyperbole. The idea that somebody who's assaulted as a child can actually run out of time to report the abuse is outrageous. Well, you give them some money, acknowledge what happened, but you don't bankrupt the city and the county for everybody else who didn't do anything. That's just nuts. And speaking of pedophiles, we're going to have Suzette Valladeres on. She's a state senator. California Senate Democrats this week rejected banning pedophile sex offenders from holding public office so they can still run for office and get elected. Debra Mark, live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Much of Southern California remains under an extreme heat warning as temps in some parts hit as high as 112 degrees. Lower deserts could get up to 118. The National Weather Service is more cloud covered today, and tomorrow is unlikely to provide much relief because the clouds are associated with tropical moisture. Even if temps dip slightly, increasing humidity can make conditions feel more uncomfortable. An apparent brake system issue caused a DHL cargo plane's brakes to overheat late last night while landing in LAX. Video of the landing made it look like the plane caught fire as it touched down, but fire crews quickly responded. No injuries were reported. The runway it landed on was closed as crews worked to safely remove the plane. The Coachella City Council has voted unanimously to permanently ban AI data centers.
The city ordinance is set to take effect in 30 days. Coachella had voted earlier this year to approve an agreement with Stronghold Power Systems to develop a proposed large-scale data center. That sparked a lot of pushback from residents worried about power and energy requirements and the possibility of public health problems. Other cities, including Indio, Desert Hot Springs, and Palm Springs, have taken actions to temporarily block data center development. But Coachella is the first city to permanently ban the power and water-hungry data centers. Amy King, KFI News.
A jury in Massachusetts will continue deliberations tomorrow in the trial of Lindsay Clancy. She's accused of murdering her 3 young children. ABC's Peter Haralambu says the jurors have a few options.
If they conclude, as defense lawyers have alleged, that Clancy was in the throes of postpartum psychosis and unable to differentiate between right and wrong, they could find Clancy not guilty by reason of insanity.
Clancy would then be sent to a state psychiatric hospital. But if they find she was aware of what she was doing, they can choose between first-degree murder, second-degree murder, manslaughter, or, of course, they can find her not guilty. Hundreds of people have died in Nepal and Tibet from major flooding and mudslides. ABC's Britt Clinette says, according to the State Department, some 90 Americans may have been impacted by the flooding, and 3 have already been rescued.
More than 900 people are still unaccounted for here in Nepal, and China's state broadcaster says at least 558 are missing on the Tibetan side.
She says the flooding may affect well over 1,000 people combined when the final count is known. We're going to head over to the 101 next.
Super Sure. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. You have a handshake with the guy, he gets a commission, and you're done. And you may not hear from him again until it's time to renew. But your business runs all year, and so do the gaps in insurance and the risk you take. So I'm telling you about Super Sure. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, the CFO, or the HR manager, the whole thing can be too complicated just to buy a policy online. Super Sure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At supersure.com, you can access tools like Fine Print Facts, which translates your current policy into plain English so you see what's covered and what's not. Plus a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know exactly what needs protecting. Supersure.com. It's one super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Go to supersure.com.
Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
Southland weather from KFI, partly cloudy tomorrow. Highs 90 to the triple digits. Metro LA and the high desert, windy in the high desert. 102 to 113 for the valleys. Low to upper 80s at the beaches. Low to upper 90s inland OC. Then we have 101 to 107 and windy in the IE. Right now, 89 in San Juan Capistrano and 97 in Staten. Stall on the 101 in Encino.
Found right before Havenhurst. That's a disabled vehicle. It's waiting for help in the right lane. Traffic is stopped behind it from Woodman, so it's adding close to 20 minutes to your drive now. On the 10, eastbound before Peck Road, crash in the carpool lane. Your stop and go from Temple City Boulevard. And at La Crescenta, still have a closure in effect on the 210 westbound to Pennsylvania. It was a big rig fire earlier. Still the 2 right lanes blocked. So traffic is still slow through there. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Randy Fuller.
Dave Portnoy here. Something big is coming. September 2nd, DraftKings Game Day. Massive deals, exclusive deals, an all-day celebration built for sports fans. And now, the DraftKings Sports app is live in all 50 states. That means from Texas to California to Florida, every fan can get in on the excitement. One app, every sport, all 50 states. Remember the date, September 2nd, DraftKings Game Day. Get pumped.
Get ready to celebrate. New DraftKings customers. Sign up with code AM640. Spend $5 to get $200 in rewards within 21 days. That's code AM640 in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Event trading offered by DraftKings Predictions, a CFTC registered introducing broker. Trading involves risk of loss. Market availability varies. Eligibility restrictions apply. $50 every 7 days via click-to-claim issued in non-withdrawable predictions dollars that expire in 1 year. Terms at dkng.co/predictions promo. Nationwide based on sportsbook predictions and free-to-play sports contest availability. Varies by state.
Living on the edge is where you thrive, and Toyota takes you there with Tacoma, Tundra, 4Runner, Land Cruiser, and Sequoia. From crystal blue lakes to open plains, Toyota vehicles are built for the ones who pack courage, not maps, the wild at heart. Because we know it's not the destination that drives you, It's seeking the uncharted that completes you. Wherever your horizon leads, we got you. We make it easy. Toyota, let's go places. Toyota makes the vehicles, you make it yours. With Toyota's line of accessories, from lift kits to suspension upgrades, modify your Toyota truck or SUV to suit your off-road dreams. We partner with leading brands like ARB, Rigid, Rhino, and more, so you can customize with confidence. Visit your local dealer for warranty custom work or shop online at toyota.com/accessories. We make it easy. Toyota, let's go places.
Protect your retirement with gold and silver. Call Golden Crest Metals, 888-447-7857.
This August, choose any 2 offers from American Vision Windows. Give them a call or visit the website today.
The kids are headed back to class, but termites, they've been busy all summer, eating, breeding, and damaging your home 24/7. If you haven't had a termite inspection in 3 years or you've seen termite droppings, call Pacific Coast Termite at 800-PACIFIC for a free inspection. And if you need treatment, Pacific Coast Termite uses orange oil and Ultraset, so there's no move out, no tent, no poisonous gas. Termites didn't take the summer off. Call 800-PACIFIC. That's 800-PACIFIC. PacificCoastTermite.com. Some restrictions apply.
In this edition of the Marketers Report, Kelsey Agostinelli, Vice President of Marketing Operations for Mars, talks about the mindset of the listener.
Trust in a platform or trust in a brand comes from transparency. iHeart's commitment to being uniquely human is all about transparency. Leverage the tools where they make sense, but don't fool anyone.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia connects marketers to the audiences, live events, and trusted influencers you need to grow. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartAdvertising.com.
KFI AM 640.
An iHeart radio station.
KFI AM 640, we're stimulating talk radio. John Kobylt Show continues. And we're live on YouTube, live on X. Subscribe, become a member. Go to youtube.com/@John Kobylt Show. You could join fellow KFI listeners in the chat room. We're going to talk with State Senator Suzette Valladeres in just a moment. I have to take just a few seconds to set this up. I swear to you, I'm not making this up. This is another one of those stories I read 3 times when I first saw it. You're not going to believe this. There's an assemblywoman named Dawn Addis, Democrat, and she wrote a bill that would prohibit persons convicted of sexual assault and human trafficking from running for any state or local office in California. But then somebody got a hold of the bill and put in these exemptions. So, let me be clear here. There are 3 crimes that have been exempted: felony sodomy, oral copulation, and sexual penetration. But only if the victims are aged 14 to 17. Then those crimes don't keep you from running for office. If you commit those crimes against an adult, you can't run for office. If you commit those crimes against a child under the age of 14, you cannot run for office. But if you commit sodomy, oral copulation, or sexual penetration against a minor aged 14 to 17, then you can run for office. You're shaking your head a lot.
14, 15, 16, 17. I don't understand why those numbers are exempt.
Yeah, those numbers are exempt, but adults, and believe it or not, Scott Wiener has something to do with this. Who's the great defender of all things that are sexually perverted and all sexual perverts. Well, let's get Suzette Valladeres on. She's a Republican state senator from Santa Clarita. Suzette?
John, we have to stop meeting like this. We only talk when Sacramento's done something crazy.
I know, and it's usually some terrible sexual issue.
Unfortunately.
What? Well, this can't be. We're all staring at each other like this can't be. You cannot run for office if you commit those terrible sex crimes against an adult or somebody under 14. But if you do it against a teenager 14 to 17, you can still run for office. Who the hell came up with this and why?
So, John, that was my reaction too when I first saw what happened in the elections committee. And I'm a mom of a 9-year-old, and I was absolutely disgusted. And I said, no, we're going to make this bill whole. I thought this was going to be the easiest vote of the year for my colleagues in the Senate, right? Should a convicted sex offender be able to hold a public office or sit on school boards? No, they shouldn't. And I was absolutely flabbergasted when we presented these amendments on the Senate floor, and 29 senators voted to kill these amendments and allow for a convicted criminal who sexually abused a minor to be able to serve on a school board. Absolutely blew my mind.
What do they have against teenage girls and boys? What is it? Or are they involved in this kind of action? What are these people afraid they wouldn't be able to run for office? I mean, what else am I supposed to assume?
You know, I think people will assume a lot of things. I can't explain it. I can't relate to them. I can't relate to, any legislator who's a parent, who's a grandparent, who has nieces or nephews, who wouldn't say, no, this isn't right. It's our job to put, I guess, partisan politics aside and do what's right for kids. But that didn't happen. And it's a sad day. And it's not just a sad day for California. It's a sad day for kids. Our kids.
But why? Somebody's got to be forced to explain why you would want to reward somebody who commits sodomy against a teenage girl or boy, and you can run for office anyway. But if you do it against an adult, you can't run for office. This is impossible to understand.
Well, John, I think you need to invite the legislator who allowed for that on your show.
And is that Dawn Addis?
So Dawn Addis, there were two bills. And let me give you a little bit of context. This bill was born out of something that happened in the city of Fresno. There was a convicted criminal who was a convicted sexual abuser, who decided that they wanted to run for city council.
I remember that, yeah.
Yep. And two Central Valley legislators said, this isn't right. And one of them was Dawn Addis, and the other one was Esmeralda Soria. They both had bills addressing, this very issue here in the city, which I had, I'm surprised that it wasn't already against the law. You can't even go onto a school campus without permission. It's against the law, but yet you can serve on school board. But anyways, these two legislators got their bills passed the assembly with unanimous support. Then they came to the Senate. They went to the Senate Elections Committee.
Run by Scott Wiener.
Correct. And the first legislator, Esmeralda or Dawn Addis, decided she was going to take his amendments. The other legislator, mind you, both of these are
wait. These are Wiener amendments?
Yes, these are his amendments from the Elections Committee.
Oh,
So the second legislator said, no, I'm not accepting these amendments, and her bill was killed. So I felt that the right thing to do is to make that bill, take that bill back to its original form and protect kids. And that, unfortunately, is not what happened.
Wiener has a history of getting bills passed that allow for sexual activity or lowering the punishments for sexual activity with teenage boys and girls. This is his thing. He's always involved in these bills. He's always seems to be the one behind this kind of perversion.
See, but John, this is, yes, you're absolutely right. Anytime one of these stories up, usually, he is involved with it. But this is where this was different. We put these amendments to the full Senate body. There were 29 other senators that could have disagreed and could have supported these amendments and chosen to protect kids, and they didn't.
Did you get to ask any of them why? Does anybody explain anything? Or are they so overwhelmed with the arrogance knowing they're never going to be punished for any votes?
I can't explain it. And, if your listeners want to go to my Twitter account or my Instagram account, Senator Valladeres, at Senator Valladeres, they can look and see if their legislator voted against kids.
Yeah, and you spell your name Valladares, Suzette Valladeres.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Go to the website and see which senators. I want to do more of this next week because I mean you're not going to be in session much longer, are you?
No, we're not giving up. And even if we can't get this passed, any of these amendments into a bill in the next 4 or 5 days, we're going to be bringing this back in December. I'm hoping to have a coalition, hopefully your support, because this is wrong.
Definitely.
This is wrong.
I do not understand the solidarity of a lot of Democratic legislators with pedophiles. I mean, and plus when you get into felony sodomy and sexual penetration, this is violence against young boys and girls' bodies.
There's no explanation, John. I don't know who relates to this. As a mom, I can't. I know most Californians don't agree. And again, what was sad is you had bipartisan support in the Assembly. It was the Senate that refused to stand up for kids.
It's as I'm saying, if it passes on Scott Wiener's desk, I don't know what kind of physiological reaction he has to these bills, but he always wants to protect the perverts. Always.
Yeah. And we have there's been a series of bills over the past couple of years that have really ignited a flame for me, John. Especially around human trafficking. It's a huge problem. We've had an explosion since SB 357 was passed. Which made it essentially legal to solicit sex, solicit with the intent with loitering with the intent to solicit prostitution. Excuse me. We've had this explosion. Our kids are not safe in California, and we continue to pass laws that don't support women, children, and families.
All right, let's talk more about this, okay?
Yes, sir.
Because the real danger we have is the apathy and ignorance of many of the voters. People aren't paying attention, and so they don't care. They don't care because they don't know what's going on here. All right, Suzette, thanks for coming on. We'll talk again soon, all right?
Thank you, John. Have a good one.
State Senator Suzette Valladeres. Impossible to digest this. Absolutely impossible. Scott Wiener came from hell. He really came from hell. He ought to be returned there. Debra Mark, live in the KFI 24-hour news.
Here's the latest. LA City crew is expected to have a badly trashed, abandoned property in Studio City cleaned up by tomorrow. And jurors will continue deliberating in the Lindsay Clancy murder trial tomorrow. We'll have more at the top of the hour, heading over to the 91 next.
Infinity Bank. Most banks give you a call center. Infinity Bank gives you the president, Victor Guerrero, to speak directly to. Call 657-223-1000 or visit infinity.bank.
Southland weather from KFI. Hot again tomorrow. Highs 80s to the triple digits. This report brought to you by Whole Foods. From your Toyota Dealers Traffic Center, we make it easy. Stall on the 91 in Bellflower.
Down right before Lakewood Boulevard, this broken down car has the two middle lanes blocked, and it's actually a broken down big rig. The reason for the two middle lanes, no doubt. Traffic is stopped from Central Avenue, so it's adding about 35 minutes to your drive. In Encino, the 101 northbound before Havenhurst, they got that stall car out of the way. Still kind of a tough drive from Woodman, though. In Diamond Bar, the 57 freeway, northbound before the 60, wreck on the right shoulder has you stop and go from Pathfinder Road. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Randy Fuller.
Thinking about upgrading your sleep? Now is the time to shop Sleep Number. Trusted by millions for nearly 40 years, Sleep Number offers superior comfort, personalized adjustability, temperature benefits, and value that is unmatched in the industry. And right now, during the Sleep Number Labor Day sale, all mattresses are on sale. Invest in your sleep and experience firsthand Sleep Number's personalized comfort. Stop by a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com to learn more.
Looking for a gift that'll melt their heart? Head to smiletunes.com and create a custom song made just for your special someone. Every lyric tells your story. Every note comes from the heart. Visit smiletunes.com and start your song today.
Crisp fall flavor starts at Whole Foods Market. Get organic Honey Crisp apples for $3.49 per pound with Prime through September 1st. Great for snacking, baking, or packing in lunches. While supplies last, shop in-store or online. Terms apply.
This report is sponsored by iHeartAdvertising.com.
Run a business and not thinking about radio? Think again, because people are listening to radio more today than they did 20 years ago. And only iHeartRadio connects with more Americans than TV, digital, even social. Learn how radio can help your business at iHeartAdvertising.com.
Every day, Californians work hard to build a better future. They deserve leaders who work just as hard for them, not for special interests. In the Assembly, Juan Carrillo is delivering solutions for the high desert, building more affordable housing, investing in good-paying jobs, and lowering costs for hardworking families. Because California deserves problem solvers who deliver real solutions on the issues that matter most. Paid for by Grow California.
Help your kid excel in math and love it at brilliant.org.
Visit LearCapital.com for your free gold investment kit. That's LearCapital.com.
Avoiding shorts because of your varicose veins? Just call 1-800-WEST-MEDICAL.
For Bud, the harmonica is a family affair. Now Bud's living with prostate cancer. He still knows how to groove, and he also knows once daily Xtandi. Xtandi treats metastatic prostate cancer that responds to a medical or surgical treatment to lower testosterone. Xtandi is proven to help these men live longer. Xtandi may cause serious side effects: seizure, a brain condition called PRESS, allergic reactions, heart disease that can lead to death, falls and bone fractures, swallowing problems, or choking that can lead to death. Stop Xtandi and get medical help at once if your face, tongue, lip, or throat start swelling. Tell your doctor at once if you faint, have a seizure, quickly worsening headache, decreased alertness, confusion, vision problems, chest pain or discomfort, or shortness of breath. Xtandi can cause harm to an unborn baby or miscarriage. Use birth control during and 3 months after Xtandi. Common side effects include muscle and joint pain, feeling unusually tired, hot flashes, constipation, less appetite, diarrhea, high blood pressure, bleeding, falls, fractures, and headache. What a riff, Bud. Ask your doctor about Xtandi.
Therapy Thursday with Ellen K is a new iHeart podcast where secrets come out, emotions run high, and no topic is off limits. Listen now on the iHeart Radio app and wherever you get your podcasts.
When I hit my 50s, I felt like things were slowing down.
This is Sandra's Metamucil story.
I started taking Metamucil for digestion, but had no idea it would impact so much more. Not only did Metamucil help me feel more regular, but my heart health saw the benefits too.
Metamucil, one simple routine, 4 health benefits. Digestive health starts here. Go to Metamucil.com for more details.
Are you trapped in a timeshare you don't use, want, or can't get rid of? I endorse Lone Star Transfer. They are a family-owned company that's helped more than 40,000 owners legally and ethically exit their timeshares. I trust them. They'll review your situation, create a customized exit plan designed specifically for you. Please go to LoneStarTransfer.com or call 855-551-7066.
When it comes to your business, great promotions should do more than just get your name out there. They should drive action. And that's exactly what your business will get from a partnership with iHeartMedia. Imagine your business connecting with music fans and future customers through sweepstakes, ticket giveaways, listener contesting, and local media. Attach your business to high-energy music moments built to help grow awareness, engagements, and leads. Getting started is easy. Learn how today at iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Bill Handel.
Karen Bass and Nithya Raman. And both of them have name recognition. That's not a problem. And both of them hate each other, which is a wonderful thing. And both of them are dealing with homelessness. It's just a question of how you deal with it.
Tomorrow morning at 6 on KFI AM 640.
Do you have much of a choice? No. It's either worse or worser. That's what we're looking at. Bad or badder. Yeah, it's even worse than that. It really is. It's not much of a choice.
More stimulating talk.
This is what football sounds like.
Straight up the gut for 5 yards and the score.
And iHeartRadio is the official partner of the NFL Podcast Network.
Welcome to NFL Daily. We're doing the work to get you up to date.
Just download the free iHeartRadio app and search NFL.
KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio. John Kobylt Show. And we're on from 3 to 6 every day. And after 6 o'clock, it's the podcast, John Kobylt Show on Demand. We're going to have Darren Thomas on right after Debra's news, the president and CEO of Dunlop Tires North America. And we're going to get his reaction to the California Energy Commission and Gavin Newsom banning 70% of replacement tires over the next few years. And it's going to cost you hundreds of dollars more. Newsom claimed the tire industry was, vast majority was behind this. They are not. And Darren Thomas held a press conference about it. And we're going to talk to him live in just a few minutes. This is going to affect you quite a bit when it comes to how much money it'll cost for your tires. And it's really enraging a lot of people. Is it true, when Tim Conway came in yesterday, he said that you were being held hostage by a squirrel downstairs at the entrance?
Well, I was trying to leave
the
building, and this very friendly squirrel that's out there all the time, I think it's a personal friend of Conway's, it was charging kind of at me. It wanted to come inside, and Conway said, well, it's it needs air conditioning probably. So I kept opening the door and then closing it because the squirrel wanted to come inside. So I couldn't leave right away.
You were going to let the squirrel inside the building?
No, I said I didn't.
But you said you kept opening and closing the door.
Because I was trying to get out, and then I closed it. I was opening it and then closing it, opening it, and then Conway shows up.
No, that squirrel is a menace.
Hoping her reflexes were quicker than the squirrel.
And it was. Or they were, because the squirrel didn't get inside. But then I was scared because when I finally got out and I closed the door real quickly, I thought, oh my gosh, I hope I didn't smush the squirrel. But he was fine. He, she, I don't know. The gender of the squirrel.
We don't know how the squirrel identifies.
I don't.
No.
I just said he, but
you're making a terrible presumption there. I know.
They.
That's
it.
But yeah, the squirrel, I mean, that squirrel, he really just came right up to me.
Well,
and
like
I felt bad, but I wasn't going to let this.
Out there.
Probably hotter.
Yeah.
But Conway didn't do anything to help me.
No,
he laughed.
There were multiple people from upstairs that were posting about the squirrel yesterday because it was terrorizing them as well.
He was charging everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he was hot, and I understand that. But I was afraid he was going to bite me.
Oh, he could knock you over easily.
I know. He was getting very close, though, to my feet. I was trying to be very nice to the squirrel. But yeah. I hope he's not there when I leave.
Stefouche just said the squirrel's name is Pinnacle Pete.
Pinnacle Pete.
Yeah, that's what Conway calls him.
Okay, see, I told you it's a personal friend of Conway.
Apparently Shannon feeds him.
Well, she should stop that. Debra couldn't leave the building.
I know. It made me late, 5 or 10 minutes late to get home.
Because Shannon feeds him.
I'm going to blame Shannon now.
Yeah. All right. When we come back, we're going to talk with Darren Thomas, President, CEO of Dunlop Tires North America. He doesn't like this new replacement tire policy from the California Energy Commission, backed by Gavin Newsom. 70% of the tires that you have will not be legal to sell in just a few years as replacement tires. Debra Mark, fighter of squirrels.
I like squirrels.
Live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
KFI and KOST HD2, Los Angeles, Orange County. More stimulating talk.
A big mess. I'm Debra Mark, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. LA City crews are expected to have a badly trashed abandoned property in Studio City cleaned up by tomorrow afternoon. Neighbors say it's been a problem for the last 5 years. And a fire there last night was the final straw. This woman who lives next door to the place says they've been trying to get the city to do something about it since 2021.
There have been people living on the property. There have been people trying to come onto our properties. And then this fire happened, and we had to contact the media for basic public safety laws to be enforced.
She says homeless people who have been living there also have tried to get onto neighboring properties. While the heat wave we're having is set to cool off this weekend, weather experts say it's not that unusual. Climate scientist Julie Kalansky at See, San Diego's Scripps Institution of Oceanography tells KFI the high heat's been caused by a combination of things.
So the combination of this high pressure system and also the moisture from the breaking down of the tropical storm.
She says compared to heat waves over the past couple of years, this one's not too much hotter, although it does seem like it is. California is close to banning disposable vape pens.
AB 762 only needs Governor Newsom's signature to make the battery-powered disposable devices illegal in the state after the state Senate and Assembly passed the bill this week. Tony Hackett from Californians Against Waste says the bill was easier for lawmakers to pass because it only applies to tobacco products in the vapes, but the plan is to include cannabis in the future.
If we could separate the battery from the reservoir that has cannabis or nicotine juice in it, it is a whole different story.
Consumer advocates say 500,000 disposable vapes are thrown away every day in the U.S. Michael Crozier, KFI News.
Palm Springs has joined the growing resistance against data centers with a moratorium.
The Palm Springs City Council passed an urgency ordinance for a data center moratorium. The council asked for a 2-year moratorium, but a 45-day open period comes first. Councilmember Grace Garner proposed the moratorium.
I think it's really important that we're looking at this clearly. This is a lot of new technology very quickly. There's been a lot of detriment to cities across the country, and I think that we need to make sure that those same things don't happen to us.
Garner says it's an opportunity to research and learn about data centers and determine if that will lead to a ban. Mark Garner, KFI News.
Jurors will continue deliberating in the Lindsay Clancy trial tomorrow. Clancy's accused of intentionally killing her 3 kids in 2023. Her attorneys say she was suffering from postpartum psychosis. Sarah Miller is a supporter of Clancy and says she has suffered from postpartum mental health issues herself.
I have panic disorder, anxiety disorder, PTSD. I've been in outpatient programs, inpatient programs. People that have never experienced it, they don't understand.
Legal experts say one of the main issues the jury needs to consider is whether or not Clancy was able to tell the difference between right and wrong. The Justice Department says the Chinese government-backed hacking group has been engaging in a targeted attack on U.S. entities dating back to 2018. Those entities include NASA, the National Institutes of Health, DHS, and even the Justice Department. Senior fellow at the National Security Institute, Andrew Bourne, says it's no secret that China has engaged in cyber espionage.
We're dealing with a set of adversarial actors in cyberspace that do not follow our laws or our rules. So what we have to do is lock our car doors, as it were.
The DOJ says the group known as QTFY also targeted hospitals, telecommunications providers, power companies, and defense contractors. And skywatchers in Southern California will get a chance to see a nearly total lunar eclipse tonight, with 96% of the moon expected to slip into Earth's shadow. Griffith Observatory will open its grounds for public viewing starting at 7:25 p.m., weather permitting, and will broadcast the event online through just after midnight. If skies are clear, the eclipse will be visible to the naked eye throughout Southern California, and no telescope or special eye protection is needed for a lunar eclipse. We're going to go to the 7:10 next.
Summer's winding down, but there's still time for one more home upgrade. And for the rest of this month, American Vision Windows wants to help you finish your home projects. Listen closely. Pick any two of their most popular offers. Free expert installation, free sound package, free upgrade to Sun Matrix, or they pay your tax, or no interest, no payments for 18 months. And you'll get stunning energy-efficient windows that improve your comfort, curb appeal, and lower your energy bills season after season. With over 1 million windows installed, American Vision Windows has earned the trust of homeowners across California. AmericanVisionWindows.com. New customers only, restrictions apply. Call or see website for details. Offer ends August 31st. Third time I've had them. Call 888-771-2188. Well, let me try that again. 888-771-2188. 888-771-2188.
Okay. Southland weather from KFI. Partly cloudy tomorrow. Highs 90 to the triple digits. Metro LA in the high desert. Windy again in the high desert. 102 to 113 in the valleys. Low to upper 80s at the beaches. Low to upper 90s inland to OC. 101 to 107 and windy in the IE. Right now 80 in Dana Point. 94 in Anaheim. The same in Diamond Bar. It's 93 in Simi Valley. The KFI financial update brought to you by Supershore. Supersure.com, one super agency, one powerful platform, all your business insurance in one place. The Dow closed up 105, S&P 500 up 55, and NASDAQ up 411. Crash on the 710 in East LA.
On the southbound side of 3rd Street, the wreck is in the center divider, car versus SUV. It's got traffic stopped from Floral Drive. In Santa Monica, problem come up now on the 10, westbound before 4th Street. That's a right shoulder problem. And traffic is stop and go from around 20th Street. Stalled car's been cleared out of the way on the 605 freeway, northbound past Telegraph Road. But that left things kind of jammed up from Rosecrans. In Bellflower, a broken down big rig on the 91 freeway eastbound before Lakewood Boulevard. The 2 left lanes are still blocked and traffic stopped from the 110 freeway. In Diamond Bar, the 57 freeway northbound before the 60, it's a right shoulder crash. It has you slow from Pathfinder Road. And in Garden Grove, on the 22 freeway westbound before Fairview Haster, that's a crash in the carpool lane. Traffic stopped from the 55. It's causing about a 25-minute delay for you. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Randy Fuller.
Here at Habas Law, we've been doing what we do for 40 years.
What we do is make cold-hearted corporations
do the right thing.
Because it's the right thing to do.
I'm Nicholas Habas. A lot has changed in the past 40 years.
But the ideals and philosophies that hold Habas Law together have not changed at all. I'm Omar Habas.
Our core beliefs have only grown stronger.
We believe in really getting to know our clients.
We believe in learning about their families, their hobbies, and their jobs.
Because when you really know a person, it gives you extra strength to fight for them.
Because you think of them as a friend.
They don't teach that in law school.
We believe that lawyers who don't truly know their clients can never be as effective as lawyers that do.
We believe that lawyers who no longer care
can no longer be effective.
These are the beliefs of Habas Law.
Habas Law will never let you down.
That's our family's promise to your family.
Call Habas Law at 1-800-INJURED.
Talk with us and your day will get a whole lot better.
HAWASLaw.com. Omar Habas and Nicholas Habas are California licensed attorneys with an office in Los Angeles. Past results do not guarantee future outcomes.
KFI AM 640. An iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human.
John Kobylt Show, KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio. Welcome. How are you? We're on every day from 3 to 6. Whatever you miss, you go to the podcast, John Kobylt Show on demand, and that'll be in about an hour. You'll be able to hear that. Same as the radio show. We did a live stream today, so you can go and watch that on YouTube or X. We had a live stream at 11 this morning. And did I mention we're live on YouTube and X right now? I don't remember, but we are. All right, now we're going to talk with Darren Thomas. He's president and CEO of Dunlop Tires North America. You probably have heard by now, many of you have reacted very strongly to this. The California Energy Commission has released a new policy, and it, in effect, bans 70% of the tires that we now drive on if they're replacement tires. They can't be sold. There's 2 phases, 2029, 2033, and by the end of it, 70% of the replacement tires that we all use no longer available. And it's going to cost us hundreds of dollars more for these replacements. So says the California Energy Commission and Gavin Newsom, saying they're more energy efficient. It has to do with rolling resistance, how much energy it takes to keep a tire moving. Darren Thomas is the president and CEO of Dunlop Tires North America, and he has spoken out very strongly about this new policy this week. And let's get him on. Darren Thomas, welcome to the John Kobylt Show. How are you?
Good, John. Thank you for having me, sir. Hope you guys are well there.
Yeah, we are. Explain so the average driver right now can understand what this rolling resistance concept is, how it affects them.
All right, yeah. So let me put it in terms that I think everybody will understand. Let's just imagine 2 people have a pencil and an eraser like we all had in grade school. And when you slide that eraser across the paper, one of them creates a lot of friction and one of them doesn't. Essentially, what we're going through is an application of technology that the tier 1 manufacturers like us have had available for years in order to allow that friction to be a little bit less and still accomplish the overall objective of that eraser. But that comes at a cost. And generally, when that technology is not needed in products, we don't put it in there because it is very expensive to process. Generally allows tires to wear a little bit faster, and we sacrifice other technical components of that tire as a result of those technologies. So essentially what California Energy Commission is doing is by mandate requiring manufacturers to put technology in the tire that ultimately the replacement market has decided on its own it doesn't need. Now, whether or not that will actually increase the efficiency of the tire can be debated, because let's say another person gets a pencil with an eraser, but just like happens in school, that eraser gets down to that metal nub, starts to tear the paper. Well, that one's really easy to slide across the paper. The reality is it just doesn't last very long. So ultimately, yes, we can achieve some of these technical requirements that the Energy Commission is mandating. We just need to be honest with ourselves about what the cost is going to be, what the impact could be, and understand that the application of these technologies is different by every global manufacturer, some of which can achieve them with much greater capabilities. Others will have to take other routes that potentially could be risky to the overall consumer.
And what would be the risks?
The risk ultimately is when we design tires, we consider safety honestly as the primary objective. In the event a consumer wants to choose, let's say, mileage over safety, we don't allow that. We require safety to be the primary objective. If it's efficiency over safety, generally we don't allow that. We make safety the objective. So when we talk about low rolling resistance tires, we just have to be realistic that even the California Energy Commission data tells us that tires with shallower tread depths will generally have lower rolling resistance. What does that mean? It may mean we may find that there are manufacturers who do not have Michelin or Dunlop or Bridgestone technologies, and they will have to resort to other technical solutions. Those solutions more than likely will compromise wet safety, potentially dry performance, and mileage. So there's just going to be compromises related to this. And as much as we want to say we can engineer one feature without sacrificing anything else, there's not a single manufacturer on the globe that will say that is a standard in which the tire industry has ever been able to operate. It is technically not feasible, so we have to make compromises.
And what do you think the cost impact is going to be on a set of four tires?
Yeah, I'll say this. If I look at even the CEC data, which isn't there to compare tire sizes, there is a particular size that they have in their data set, an 18-inch, let's just say for a modern SUV. The difference between the low rolling resistance tire and the replacement tire in their own sample was $18. So that's one example. If I asked our engineering team, which I did yesterday, to give me that same tire, tell me how far away our product is from that low rolling resistance tire, it will take 3%. 3% on, let's say, a $175 tire. So maybe we're around the $5 or $6 range on that one size. But that's because that size was engineered already with some low rolling resistance features in it. If I take a common size, let's say for a Honda Accord or an older vehicle, maybe owned by someone who's had that vehicle for 10 years, that increases 17% just in materials, not in material processing, not in all of the other costs that we incur when we simply add a material. So it is not the $6.50 that the CEC is saying. That's the equivalent of saying, hey, John, your cost increase is 20, Darren's is 0, therefore, John, you only owe 10. Well, that works at the CEC, but in the real world, John, your number is still $20 a tire. So there will be a disproportionate increase in the distribution of burden, and it's going to hit people who buy economy tires the most.
There's estimates in the California Post, according to the Tire Industry Association, that it could be hundreds of dollars for a set of four tires, the increase.
It all depends on the tire size and how much that tire was engineered in the first place to have low rolling resistance. But I would say that probably you could anticipate easily $150 for a larger SUV or light truck tire size. And the CEC is now going to say that you're going to offset that with fuel efficiency. The problem is that calculation is even not consistent with the academic of science analysis. And that just continues to weaken the overall value equation for the consumer and puts in the low rolling resistance benefit outcome in jeopardy. So our position is there's other ways to solve this. We may not even have a problem in the first place, and we just need to have a lot more dialogue, because this is not the climate to put larger costs on consumers, especially when manufacturers are saying there's a challenge here.
Are we talking up to $150 per tire?
No. You're not going to be $150 per tire. I'm talking about a set of 4 installed, ready to go.
Okay, because some of these reports make it per tire. And so
no,
the coverage is confusing. I hear you talk about this in incredible detail, which is not surprising considering you're the president and CEO of the company. But when I hear Nancy Skinner, who's on the California Energy Commission, talk, she goes, "Oh, just trust us because, we know how to regulate hair dryers." Seriously, she said that. So
yeah.
I don't sense the same level of sophistication when it comes to the knowledge.
Yeah, well, what I'll say is that the folks on that committee that sanctioned this legislation, I will tell you this: the data they used from a company called Smithers, which even my firm uses, and Discount Tire, America's Tire, who you can trust, also uses. They have some valid data there. The problem that we have is we are taking a very, very broad scientific issue and broad stroking it across all of the tires in North America or California. And that might work with microwaves because all of our outlets are 110 volts. That is not the case with all different vehicles with different braking systems, different weight requirements, different places we're going to drive, different temperature environments. So I hate to say this, I hate to break the news to people, but you don't drive your kids to school in your microwave. So it's like I've told people, I have children, they're in high school and college. In the event that I lost my daughter because she had low rolling resistance tires and her braking distance was decreased, I would not be comforted. So tires has always been about safety. That is not the issue with appliances. That is about energy consumption. So trying to grow or adopt efficiency rules for appliances has merit. That is a noble thing to do. And honestly, to seek emissions improvements is also noble. I was a kid in California that couldn't see the mountains. My kids can see them, and I appreciate that. But that does not mean that all legislation was born out of real science, using that science in parallel with industry and doing that together. This is the result of legislation that sat on the books for 23 years, and overnight we have some legislation. And I think we need to stop as California to say this is not about politics. This is just about safety, what's good for consumers, and whether or not consumers need to bear this burden. And right now is not the time, and this is not the science.
So you're concerned that this new mandate could affect safety as well as being a price hike?
Yeah, what I can say is companies like ours, we win either way because we have the technology. But our company's winning at the expense of consumers is not winning.
Yeah.
So ultimately, we need to do what is right long-term and long-term leans. Let's really establish what is required to increase the efficiency of tires. Should there be a possible way to do that without compromise? The moment compromise is included in the equation, we have to ask ourselves, what product are we dealing with? If that product deals with safety, put the brakes on. Let's talk about this and slow this process down, because what you're going to have now are offshore companies around the world trying to determine if they have the science of composition of rubbers and all of these things to process this, and many of them will not. And when they don't, they have to change structural design to accomplish that, and then we have problems.
Thank you for coming on with us. This was very fascinating and informative. Darren Thomas, President.
Well,
You go ahead.
Yeah, no problem. No. Just say it's not every day the tire guys get to talk with everybody. So we just hope everybody stays safe and just, separates the facts from the fiction on this whole thing.
All right. Well, I'm glad you took the time to explain all this. President and CEO of Dunlop Tires North America, Darren Thomas. Thank you again. Debra Mark, live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Here is the latest. The extreme heat and dangerous fire conditions continue across Southern California, and President Trump signs an executive order renaming Lake Ontario to Lake America. We'll have more at the bottom of the hour, heading over to the 22 next.
They say time heals all wounds. The accident attorneys at Sweet James know that's only partly true. When you're hurt in an accident, you should know the legal system is rigged, and you need somebody who knows the system inside and out with the level of experience and care to fight for you when the billion-dollar insurance companies refuse to help. Don't fight alone. Your attorneys at Sweet James will walk beside you and tell your story and make them listen. They deliver results that send the insurance companies a message and help you get the maximum compensation and the justice you deserve. 800-9-million, 800-9-000-000. If you're hurt in a car, truck, or motorcycle accident, you call your accident attorneys at Sweet James, and you pay no costs or fees until they win. With an office in Los Angeles, 800-9-million, 800-9-million, 800-9-000-000. SweetJames.com.
From the Odoo.com Weather Center, Odoo, the only business software you need. Hot again tomorrow, 80s to the triple digits. This report brought to you by Albertsons and Vons. From your Toyota dealer's traffic center, we make it easy. Crash on the 22 in Garden Grove.
Westbound right before Fairview Haster. The wreck is in the carpool lane. Sports car and a motorcycle there. Traffic stacked up from the 55. In Bellflower on the 91 freeway eastbound before Lakewood Boulevard. Stalled semi still blocking the two left lanes, they say. So traffic's heavy from the 110. That's probably slowing you down by about 45 minutes, maybe more. In East LA, the 710 southbound at 3rd Street, wreck in the center divider. You're slow from Floral. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Randy Fuller.
This week at Vons and Albertsons, Signature Select whole frying chicken, drumsticks, or thighs, bone-in value packs are 99 cents per pound. And locally grown green or red seedless grapes are $1.99 per pound with digital coupon on Vons or Albertsons.com.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Still sleeping on that old bed? Mattress Firm's sleep experts can help you choose the perfect upgrade. They'll guide you every step, answering your questions. Shop today and save big during the best sale of the year. They make sleep easy.
Hey, it's Conway. Join me and Travel Store in February of 2027 for an incredible Caribbean cruise aboard Oceana Cruises. We'll sail from San Juan to St. Barts, St. Martin, St. Kitts, St. John, plus a limited number of guests can purchase exclusive VIP opportunities with me. All they're asking for is a $200 deposit before August 31st, and they'll give you a $200 onboard credit. 800-777-6540 or ConwayCruise.com. ConwayCruise.com.
Visit LearCapital.com for your free gold investment kit. That's LearCapital.com.
Win Freddie Freeman's autographed jersey. Take the survey at CleanLA.com.
Avoiding shorts because of your varicose veins? Just call 1-800-WEST Medical.
When it comes to your business, great promotions should do more than just get your name out there. They should drive action. And that's exactly what your business will get from a partnership with iHeartMedia. Imagine your business connecting with music fans and future customers through sweepstakes, ticket giveaways, listener contesting, and local media. Attach your business to high-energy music moments built to help grow awareness, engagement, and leads. Get started today. Call 844-844-iHeart. That's 844-844-iHeart.
Looking for a gift that'll melt their heart? Head to SmileTunes.com and create a custom song made just for your special someone. Every lyric tells your story. Every note comes from the heart. Visit SmileTunes.com and start your song today.
I'm going to Morongo for my fantasy football draft party. My first pick, cheerleaders. Now your top reasons to visit Morongo.
Football's back, and we're giving every league commissioner just what they need. A draft party.
Number 2.
Make Labor Day weekend a Morongo weekend. Book a suite or private casita.
And the number 1 reason.
We're giving away a 2026 Mustang GT Fastback, the 31st.
Morongo, good times.
Gary and Shannon.
I love driving around the Waymos. The Waymo behind me, let me enter the lane. And I was shocked
I was like, what? Somebody's letting me in.
Thank you, Waymo.
Where am I?
Tomorrow morning at 9 on KFI AM 640.
Who has manners around here? And then I realized there was nobody in that vehicle, that it was a computer that let me in. Of course, I trust a Waymo more than an Uber driver. You don't know where these people have been. You don't know what they've been shooting up with all night.
More stimulating talk.
Touchdown! The countdown to the new NFL season is on.
And now all 32 in-market local teams can be heard on the free iHeartRadio app.
He's in! That's a jet touchdown! Just open the app and search your favorite team.
Plus, Fox Sports Radio breaks it all down
As we get closer to week 1. It's crazy and it's fun.
Join the conversation and stay locked in. Live local games with you all season long.
Download the iHeartRadio app.
Search NFL and press play.
KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, the John Kobylt Show. We just had a extended interview with the president and CEO of Dunlop Tires North America, Darren Thomas, because he'd come out publicly this week against the way the California Energy Commission has released these new regulations, basically banning 70% of the tires we drive, replacement tires. They can't be sold anymore. And as of 2029 and 2033, and this is going to cost, he says it could cost up to $150 for 4 tires. There have been published estimates that are higher than that. We'll go with his for now. But you could see, if you heard the interview, it's extremely detailed, technical, serious science. And when you hear from Nancy Skinner, it's like, well, we know how to regulate hair dryers. And Newsom says, well, vast majority support this among tire companies, and they don't. The most important thing, what he said is, when you make a mandate like this, you're going to sacrifice something. Might be traction, might be safety. Certainly going to be the price. Safety is the most important thing there, because you can't mess with the rolling resistance and not have there be a consequence. There's only so much you can do with the physics. Otherwise, they would have done it by now. But if you listen to Nancy Skinner and Newsom speak on this, they're in 3rd grade. Barely. You listen to Darren Thomas, it's an advanced degree. I want these guys coming up with the policy. Not Skinner and Newsom. They don't have the candle power in their brains to do this. They just do it because they're driven by their obsessive ideology and their psychotic need to control other people. Let the market decide this. If somebody wants higher or lower rolling resistance, put it on the market, see how it flies. If someone wants maybe more safety, a change in the traction, whatever the issue is, the price, let the market decide. That's our freedom. And what they hate more than anything, the Newsoms and the Skinners in the world, is to, they hate our freedom. It makes them crazy. And any decision they could force on us, they will. You think Newsom would be able to hold his own in a conversation with Darren Thomas? I keep getting back to this. Intelligence is extremely important. And we have very little of it in government. And it's obvious. And so now we have the stupid people ordering around the smart people, the ignorant ordering around the educated. It's what the hell does Nancy Skinner know about tires? It's just like regulating hair dryers. Oh, that's what's galling about this, because you can't have discussions with them. They fall back on hysterical cliches. lines that work really well at, progressive rallies. But then you take it to the real world and the complex physics, the complex science of tires and rolling resistance and friction and safety issues and what the tires are made of. And we'll talk more. Debra Mark live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
The extreme heat and dangerous fire conditions continue across Southern California.
The National Weather Service says a red flag warning will remain in place until 3 p.m. on Friday. There's low humidity and gusty winds in the forecast. A very hot and unstable air mass is going to make for dangerous conditions. Triple-digit highs will continue in many inland locations through Friday night. Mark Mayfield, KFI News.
More and more students in California are homeless.
Nearly 300,000 students in California's K-12 schools were homeless during the 2024-25 school year. That's a record high for the state. According to the UCLA Center for the Transformation of Schools, the number of children without a stable place to live is up 10% from previous highs. Most homeless students are not living on the streets. Instead, their families are staying with others in crowded homes because they can't afford their own places. Tammy Trujillo, KFI News.
Weekly jobless claims are down. The Labor Department says it received 203,000 first-time requests for unemployment benefits in the week ending August 22nd. That's 4,000 fewer than the previous week's revised total. It's also about 5,000 fewer than what most analysts were expecting. Amid the ongoing trade war with Canada, President Trump has signed an executive order renaming Lake Ontario to Lake America. Trump says Canada has treated the U.S. unfairly.
People oftentimes, they'll ask me, who's the worst to deal with on trade? And I said, that's easy, Canada.
The Trump administration has imposed 50% tariffs on a wide range of Canadian goods that are imported into the U.S. Southland weather from KFI, partly cloudy tomorrow, highs 90 to the triple digits, metro LA and the high desert. Windy in the high desert, 102 to 113 in the valleys. Low to upper 80s at the beaches, low to upper 90s inland OC, 101 to 107 and windy in the IE. Right now, 89 in Laguna Woods and 91 in Rancho Santa Margarita. Crash on the 101 in Echo Park.
Southbound, just past Glendale Boulevard, the wreck is in the left lane. Car versus SUV situation there. And traffic is stopped from Hollywood Boulevard. In Santa Monica now, the 10 eastbound before Centinela. The wreck in the center divider that has traffic at a stop pretty much from Cloverfield Boulevard. Big delays in Bellflower, the 91 freeway eastbound before Lakewood Boulevard. They finally got the stalled semi out of the roadway, but it was there long enough to slow things down from the 110. You're probably looking at 45 minutes of delay still. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Randy Fuller.
This summer ends with the greatest party of all time. Join the Festival of Arts and Pageant of the Masters for one unforgettable night, Friday, September 4th in Laguna Beach. Hosted by Isai Morales and featuring Beatles tribute band Hard Day's Night, an incredible fine arts show, and a never-before-seen Pageant of the Masters experience. Plus, one lucky guest could drive away in a brand new Volvo XC90. Tickets are limited, so get yours now at pageanttickets.com. Brought to you by Volvo Cars USA.
You've thought about moving some of your IRA into gold. Most people have. Here's what stops them. They think it's complicated. It's not. Golden Crest Metals moves existing IRA and 401k money into physical gold and silver every day, tax and penalty free. Featured on Fox Business and CNBC. Plus, receive up to $25,000 in free silver with a qualifying purchase. Call 888-447-7857. That's 888-447-7857. Not a financial advisor. Precious metals involve risk. Free silver offer is a 10% bonus in silver on qualifying purchases of premium mintage coins. $10,000 minimum purchase required. Bonus silver capped at $25,000 and credited to customer account. See goldencrestmetals.com for full terms.
Hey, it's Chris Merrill. What if you could replace your entire home's incoming water pipe system in just one day and save thousands? Creative Repipe is offering KFI listeners 20% off plus great financing. Call for your free estimate. 888-373-0046 or visit creativerepipe.com.
Help your kid excel in math and love it at brilliant.org.
If you live within 45 miles of the Eaton Fire in Altadena, your home may have been affected and you may qualify for compensation. Call 855-LA-FIRE-0. That's 855-LA-FIRE-0.
Summer's winding down, but there's still time for one more home upgrade.
This August, American Vision Windows lets you pick 2 offers. Free expert installation, free sound package, free upgrade to Sun Matrix. They'll pay your tax or no interest and no payments for 18 months.
Get your project done before fall with your choice of savings. Visit AmericanVisionWindows.com or call 888-785-5713. That's 888-785-5713.
New customers only. Restrictions apply. Color See the website for details. Offer ends August 31st, 2026.
Visit LearCapital.com for your free gold investment kit. That's LearCapital.com.
OPO Injury Lawyers, rooted in this community, relentless in justice. OPOLaw.com.
For a free termite inspection, call 800-PACIFIC or visit PacificCoastTermite.com. Restrictions apply.
All right, let me tell you something. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again until renewal. Well, your business runs all year round, and so do the gaps and the risks. That's why I'm introducing SuperSure. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, HR manager, it can be really complex just to buy a policy online. SuperSure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At supersure.com, you can access tools like Fine Print Facts, which actually translates your current policy into plain English so you know what's covered and what's not. Plus, they have a business value calculator so you can get an idea of what your business is worth so you actually know what you need to protect it. Go to supersure.com, one super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Go to supersure.com. That's supersure.com. Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
Thanks to you, we're helping teachers bring more opportunities, creativity, and learning into their classrooms every day. iHeartRadio's Think a Teacher, powered by Donors Choose, making a real difference for teachers and students. And we're not done yet. Keep listening as we get ready to recognize and reward some truly inspiring educators. Celebrate this year's incredible teachers and the difference they're making at iHeartRadio.com/teachers.
No reason to trouble yourself by diving into this muck.
Cannonball!
We'll do it for you.
This swamp covers a lot of wet ground.
Swamp Watch with Gary and Shannon.
This is a sewer.
Weekdays at 11:20 on KFI.
KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio, the John Kobylt Show, and we're on from 3 to 6. We got the Chargers tonight, don't we? They're playing the Rams, and coverage starts at 6 o'clock, right after we're done. Hiccups came back again. Subscribe, become a member, youtube.com/@John Kobylt Show, because we're live on YouTube and we're live on X. And we did a live stream this morning at 11 a.m., and that's on YouTube, and that's on X as well. So you could go watch that. They have been, since the new homeless count came out, and we found out street homelessness was actually up over 8%. And it was really embarrassing to the idiots at the city council, to Karen Bass. Ever since then, they've been claiming, LAHSA can't count right. We need a new count. This didn't come out right because the numbers went up. Now, the last couple of years when they claimed the numbers went down, they had no problem with the count. Until the Rand Corporation in 2025 did their own count and found that LAHSA missed a third of the vagrants in Skid Row, Venice, and Hollywood. They undercounted by a third. In Skid Row, they undercounted by 40%, I think. Well, there was no call from the LA City Council president, Marquise Harris Dawson, to do a new count. But now that the count showed it went up a lot, well, now there's something wrong. He said there was one part of South LA where the number of vagrants had skyrocketed. LAHSA's count of vagrants in a particular census tract was more than 10 times higher than in 2026. That was a hiccup. 10 times higher. And Harris Dawson says that's not accurate. I know you think this is funny. What am I supposed to do?
Because you're hiccuping and snorting at the same time. See?
Well, I'm trying to suppress the hiccup.
Hold your breath for 20 seconds, for God's sake.
No more soda for you before the show.
Well, to hold my breath, you got to Say something.
Okay, go. Hold your breath. Okay. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe.
Almost passed out. You'd love it when I suffer.
No, I'm trying to help you.
So anyway, the loss account was 10 times higher in this South LA district than in 2026. In Bob Blumenfeld's district, that's yours, right? Bob Blumenfeld?
Mm-hmm.
He said his count did not include some people staying at shelters. So this year, they're claiming the count's no good because the numbers went up. So they voted unanimously to call for a review. And they want an investigation. This is fascinating, isn't it? The years the numbers go down, they're wrong. No call for an investigation. The years the number go up, they want an investigation. But the truth is, the whole system is stupid. The whole system's broken. They can't count. They don't know how to do this. We're spending billions of dollars and they can't count. LAist.com, which is public radio, went to some of the homeless people to see what they thought. Well, a lot of people in the area told LAist that they think the homelessness is going up. Derek Johnson says he's looking at people who live around him on the same street. They asked him, well, what is his situation? He used to be in Section 8 housing, but he thought the services had failed him. The rent was too high. So he spent $4,200 on an RV. Yeah, if you don't have money for rent, how do you end up with $4,200 for an RV? And he said the housing voucher expired without him knowing, and that sent him back to the street. He said, I did the program, I did all that, and now you're telling me I ain't got no spot? F you all. I got me an RV now. Which is the last thing we want is more RVs on the street. Vince Benton, of course, he could get a job and stop taking the drugs, and then he'd make enough money for a cheap apartment or rent out a room. Do reporters ever ask that? I remember Ken and I years ago. There was some giveaway going on after some natural disaster, some government program. And we went up to the people standing in line trying to get free stuff or free money. And at the time, we still had newspapers, and I brought the classified ads. And I went up to these people standing in line for the free stuff in the government program, and I said, well, there's some job openings here. You want to call? You want to take this home, this paper? Everybody got mad at me. Activists got mad at me. These people standing in line got mad at me because I was telling them to answer the want ads in the newspaper. Same thing here. You don't see the reporters saying, well, geez, if you get off the drugs. Vince Benton doesn't have an RV. And he told LAist he doesn't have a tent or a sleeping bag either. He has a family nearby to try to help him. But drug use and a criminal record have kept him, unhoused. That word again.
I thought you're not allowed to use that.
We're not. I'm reading the LAist word. They unhoused is all through this article. I've been calling them vagrants. I have to rewrite this. And Vince Benton says he's seeing more vagrants coming to the area looking for a place to stay. He says, in a minute, all South Central is going to look like downtown LA. So the people in the streets know they have more neighbors, and they're reporting more neighbors. They're telling you that the programs don't work. They're also not interested in getting off the drugs They're not interested in getting mental health help. They just want the free money and the free stuff. And there isn't a soul in government right now in Los Angeles that's trying to change this whole dynamic. It's just the same old thing every day, every day. We'll talk more. Debra Mark live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Here is the latest. LA Mayor Bass says the city's taking action to clean up that abandoned property full of trash that's been used by homeless people in Studio City. And the search for survivors continues in Nepal following catastrophic flooding that's killed hundreds of people. Well, more at the top of the hour, going to the 10 next.
When it comes to banking, are all of your eggs in one basket? And what happens when your card doesn't work and you have to look at the back of the card to find the 800 number? What happens when your wallet is stolen? Who's going to be that reliable source when you need money, new cards, or assurance that your money is safe? Well, you won't have to worry about that with Infinity Bank. Call Victor Guerrero, the president. Set up a new account today. 657-223-1000. 657-223-1000. And for a limited time only, don't miss out on one of the best rates with their money market savings account. Infinity Bank.
From the Odoo.com Weather Center, Odoo, the only business software you need. Hot again tomorrow. Highs 80s to the triple digits. This report brought to you by Amazon Autos from your Toyota dealer's traffic center. We make it easy. Crash on the 10 in Santa Monica.
Eastbound, right before Centinela. That's a crash in the center divider. Two-car wreck that's got traffic stopped from Cloverfield in Baldwin Park on the 10 freeway, eastbound before the 605. The carpool lane is blocked with that crash. It's backing you up from City Terrace. About a 20-minute delay there. Echo Park, situation's gotten worse on the 101 southbound past Glendale Boulevard. That wreck in the left lane slowing you from Hollywood Boulevard. Now it's about a 45-minute or more delay. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Randy Fuller.
I'm going to Morongo for my fantasy football draft party. My first pick, cheerleaders. Now your top reasons to visit Morongo.
Football's back, and we're giving every league commissioner just what they need, a draft party.
Number 2.
Make Labor Day weekend a Morongo weekend. Book a suite or private casita.
And the number 1 reason.
We're giving away a 2026 Mustang GT Fastback, the 31st.
Morongo, good times.
Picture this. You're on magician duty at your kid's birthday, and it's also car shopping day. Sounds tough, right? Not with Amazon Autos. Shop for your car online, pick it up at the dealership, so you can get back to making magic. Visit Amazon.com/autos.
This report is sponsored by Think It Up. Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
Just call Sweet James at 1-800-9-million. Just call Sweet James, your accident attorney.
Sweet James Accident Attorneys. Office in Los Angeles, California, and sweetjames.com.
Lose the weight. Feel incredible. Just call 1-800-WEST-MEDICAL.
Therapy Thursday with Ellen Kay is a brand new podcast. Heartbreak, hope, and a whole lot of what would you do? Stream now on the iHeartRadio app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Visit LearCapital.com for your free gold investment kit. That's LearCapital.com.
Here at Habas Law, we've been doing what we do for 40 years.
What we do is make cold-hearted corporations
do the right thing.
Because it's the right thing to do.
I'm Nicholas Habas. A lot has changed in the past 40 years.
But the ideals and philosophies that hold Habas Law together have not changed at all. I'm Omar Habas.
Our core beliefs have only grown stronger.
We believe in really getting to know our clients.
We believe in learning about their families, their hobbies, and their jobs.
Because when you really know a person, it gives you extra strength to fight for them.
Because you think of them as a friend.
They don't teach that in law school.
We believe that lawyers who don't truly know their clients can never be as effective as lawyers that do.
We believe that lawyers who no longer care
can no longer be effective.
These are the beliefs of Habas Law.
Habas Law will never let you down.
That's our family's promise to your family.
Call Habas Law at 1-800-INJURED.
Talk with us and your day will get a whole lot better.
HABASLaw.com.
Omar Habas and Nicholas Habas are California licensed attorneys with an office in Los Angeles. Past results do not guarantee future outcomes.
No required subscriptions, no trial periods, no surprise charges, no monthly fees. iHeartRadio is different. It's 100% free. Download the iHeartRadio app now.
I'm not one to say I told you so, but I switched to Pure Talk over a year ago, and ever since, I've been telling people there's no better wireless company out there. Well, a few months ago, a massive survey was conducted. 123,000 people were asked to rate their wireless carrier in 4 categories: coverage, support, data, and overall value. Well, the results are in. Guess which wireless company was the only wireless company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. 5 stars, every category. To celebrate, Pure Talk is offering the first 3 months of any plan for just $15 a month, including their top-tier unlimited plan. No contract, no commitment, just a very inexpensive way to test drive the only American wireless company with 5 stars in every category. Just dial pound 250, say micro, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service will take it from there. Again, pound 250 micro. And yes, I told you so.
The countdown to the NFL season is on, and Fox Sports Radio is where you join the conversation with the Dan Patrick Show.
You got some interesting scenarios here.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
You have to strike when the iron is hot in the NFL.
And more. Download the iHeartRadio app, search NFL, and listen now.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio, the John Kobylt Show. And we're on from 3 to 6, so that time's running out soon. The podcast is coming out just after 6 o'clock, John Kobylt Show on demand. No Conway tonight. We got the Chargers playing the Rams. And we'll get to that in just a few moments here. We're live on YouTube, live on X. We did a live stream this morning on YouTube and X that you could watch. Extra bonus hour there. Excuse me, I got the hiccups today. It's nothing really I can do about it. But I'll try to get through this. This we had on last hour a guy, Michael Gier, who has produced this, directed this wonderful film called. It's about all the 9/11 stories. It's things you've never heard before. Stories by people who lived through the entire experience, survivors, first responders, relatives, and it's about resilience and triumph, from triumph to resilience. And you know, I went and I watched it thinking that, geez, I've seen enough documentaries, enough retrospectives over the years. It's something really special, and so it's from triumph to resilience. It's on a lot of the major streaming channels. And it's the 25th anniversary of 9/11. Now, I understand we are going to feel this anniversary a little more here than they would in Canada. But hearing this from the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation kind of made me understand why Trump has this urge to rename Lake Ontario and also slap all these tariffs. The Canadian Broadcasting Corporation has instructed its staff not to refer to the killings on 9/11 as terrorist attacks ahead of its anniversary coverage. It's a public broadcaster, CBC, said it would avoid using words like terrorist and terrorism when describing the events. Do not refer to the September 11th attacks as terrorist attacks. The memo was signed BB, which means it was signed by Bassem Bashra. That doesn't sound Canadian. Senior Director of Journalistic Standards. A public affairs spokesman for the CCC said our focus is to report the facts of such atrocities with accuracy, clarity, and detail, and to convey the scale and scope of violent acts whenever they occur. To quote the people affected and convey the views of the officials and experts on these events. But CBC News does not designate specific groups as terrorists or specific acts as terrorism, regardless of the region or the events. Because these words are so loaded with meaning, politics, and emotion, they can end up being impediments to our journalism. I don't understand this. I have a complete block in trying to comprehend what these people are talking about. The CBC will only use terms when quoting others who are describing the events. Even though Osama bin Laden, who approved the attacks, funded the attacks, and described the attacks as blessed terror. He said in one of his video statements, we say our terror against America is blessed terror. So when the guy who ran Al-Qaeda, who approved and paid for the terror attack, is telling you it's terror, the CBC won't do it. They hide behind gobbledygook, word salad. I can't even follow the rationale. But it's so disrespectful to the country. It's so disrespectful to the people who died, to the families who suffered, to the survivors who still live with the painful memories. But you have these CBC broadcasters who just give you the back of the hand, wave it away, and tell you, well, this is our policy. And this gets in the way of our journalism. It gets in the way of journalism to report terror attacks as terror attacks when the guy who initiated the terror attacks describes it that way. And this is still going on 25 years later. I mean, this is part of the whole woke movement. Anyway, you know what? I'm going to cut out because I got to go take care of the hiccups. You have an extra minute here to play with. We'll see you tomorrow. I assume the hiccups are going to stop by then. Michael Crusher has the news. Go.
KFI and